宙逃げるぞカグラ。開発チームから聞かされてねえよ。
しつこい男は嫌いやろ。
アームストロング最高です。アームストロング。なんでこんなとこにまで。話でやってくんねえかサダール。そいつは新橋じゃねえんだ。僕なら噛まれてもいいってことですか。ケリーさん本当にごめんなさい。さて行き先は
ピーク。
ってもしかして僕またメガネだけになってない？
Hey there, want to see something cool? Isn't it cute? Let's see what other sea creatures we can discover. What beautiful scenes are hiding under the sea? Let's explore the Undersea Mystery. Play matches and complete missions to earn tokens. Then use them to observe sea creatures and unlock them in your guide. The more you discover, the more rewards you can claim. Make sure to check in often, because rare sea creatures will periodically generate extra tokens. In Battle Royale, the adventure starts before you even land with a brand new whale-themed airplane. On Bermuda, look for mysterious whirlpool entrances that take you to the fresh, cool undersea realm. The high-tier loot zone becomes the Hydro Zone, surrounded by towering water walls. Don't worry though, you and your bullets can still pass through freely. Giant whales will also fly across the sky and drop bubble airdrops as they fly by. And yes, you can fish mid-match. Fishing spots will appear around the map, letting you reel in fish or even loot. Find upgraded fishing spots for even better rewards. Some fish will even follow you after you catch them and grant special buffs. Plus, there's a new event weapon, the Hydro Blaster. Hold fire to spray a continuous, super accurate water beam. When you run out of ammo or reload manually, a QuickTime event will pop up. Hit it to fast reload and gain a buff. Some other weapons can get this QTE reload too, so try them out when you find them. In Clash Squad, the Hydro Blaster is also available, along with the same QTE reload bonuses on select weapons. The Undersea Realm joins the Bermuda map pool, and cyber airdrops and spawn areas get themed visuals too. The ocean secrets are waiting for you to discover. Expect the unexpected. Random events may now pop up in Clash Squad to shake things up. You might start round 1 with 1,000 cash, get a random melee weapon each round, receive blue walls over time, and more. Good news to all tactical market enthusiasts. You can now deploy a tactical gadget right at your position with a simple tap. Fast and easy. Meet Ray the Watchman. Wielding both sun and moon power, he's on a mission to scatter the darkness. His active skill, Bond of Eclipse, tags the first unbound enemy hit in a fan-shaped area and creates a link with them that only Ray and the target can see. If Ray reduces the tagged enemy to a certain HP or below, they get instantly knocked down. If the target is knocked down or eliminated while tagged, Ray's skill resets immediately. For more skill adjustments, here's a quick overview. Some weapons have received balance changes. Check them out. Say hi to Pyro, your new fiery companion. Log in daily to watch Pyro grow and earn rewards. You'll meet Pyro for the first time when you open your profile. Choose Pyro's personality, drag them around your profile or lobby, and watch them pull off all kinds of cool moves. Pyro has 3 states: active, faded, and inactive. Daily logins keep Pyro active. Missing logins dim the flames, and staying away too long makes Pyro inactive. No worries, though. Log back in, and this little flamehead will jump right into action. Every login boosts Pyro's EXP. Keep it going, and Pyro will level up from a tiny spark to the ultimate fire puncher. You can also unlock new looks and accessories to give Pyro even more heat. Presets will no longer be locked in once matchmaking starts. Even better, you'll be able to adjust them in the cabin or before the first CS round starts. However, you'll not be able to switch presets once you've used the loadout. Don't forget to tap the preset button to check out what presets your teammates are using before making your choice. In-match quick messages are now smarter and will suggest messages based on what's happening on the battlefield. Tap on the message to send it out to teammates. Some messages will even auto-mark enemies on the mini-map for you. See a player with impressive stats at the end of a match? You can now invite them to your team right from the match results page. Team invites are also smoother. If you accept a booking request while you're in a match, you'll join your friend's team as soon as your current match ends, so you'll never miss an invite again. We can't wait for you to try out the improved filter system and new themed filters like Cyberpunk and Golden Era. Looking for a smoother gaming experience? Try out the new frame rate boost feature. If your frame rate is set to high or above, open settings and enable this feature to enjoy crisper, smoother gameplay. If you love the competitive vibe, the new CS custom room updates are for you. Now you can choose a specific map area for each round to get targeted practice. What's more, play and win like a pro with the new ban and pick mode, complete with the new ban and pick feature, an esports styled CS store, and gameplay rules. And that's it for today. See you next time, survivors!
Ate said the moon and the sun aren't rivals. I still believe in that.
おい、それスノボじゃなくて人体だから。それにこれってケツでブレーキかけるやつだし、吉原大炎上の次は異世界大炎上なんてシャレになりませんから。
バカ、これぐらい犠牲を払ってこそコラボに対しての俺たちの気合が伝わるってもんだろ。
金ちゃんの言う通りある。コラボのためなら尻の一つや二つ差し足して当然ね。
ゲームは終わりだ。
え、皆さん、それって銃？
逃げるぞカグラ。開発チームから聞かされてねえよ。
しつこい男は嫌いやろ。
アームストロング最高です。アームストロング、なんでこんなとこにまで。話でやってくんねえか、サダール。そいつは新橋じゃねえんだ。僕なら噛まれてもいいってことですか。ケリーさん、本当にごめんなさい。
さて、行き先は？
ピーク。
って、もしかして僕またメガネだけになってない？
Hey there, want to see something cool? Isn't it cute? Let's see what other sea creatures we can discover. What beautiful scenes are hiding under the sea? Let's explore the Undersea mystery. Play matches and complete missions to earn tokens. Then use them to observe sea creatures and unlock them in your guide. The more you discover, the more rewards you can claim. Make sure to check in often, because rare sea creatures will periodically generate extra tokens. In Battle Royale, the adventure starts before you even land with a brand new whale-themed airplane. On Bermuda, look for mysterious whirlpool entrances that take you to the fresh, cool undersea realm. The high-tier loot zone becomes the Hydro Zone, surrounded by towering water walls. Don't worry though, you and your bullets can still pass through freely. Giant whales will also fly across the sky and drop bubble airdrops as they fly by. And yes, you can fish mid-match. Fishing spots will appear around the map, letting you reel in fish or even loot. Find upgraded fishing spots for even better rewards. Some fish will even follow you after you catch them and grant special buffs. Plus, there's a new event weapon, the Hydro Blaster. Hold fire to spray a continuous, super accurate water beam. When you run out of ammo or reload manually, a QuickTime event will pop up. Hit it to fast reload and gain a buff. Some other weapons can get this QTE reload too, so try them out when you find them. In Clash Squad, the Hydro Blaster is also available, along with the same QTE reload bonuses on select weapons. The Undersea realm joins the Bermuda map pool, and cyber airdrops and spawn areas get themed visuals too. The ocean secrets are waiting for you to discover. Expect the unexpected. Random events may now pop up in Clash Squad to shake things up. You might start round 1 with 1,000 cash, get a random melee weapon each round, receive blue walls over time, and more. Good news to all tactical market enthusiasts. You can now deploy a tactical gadget right at your position with a simple tap. Fast and easy. Meet Ray the Watchman. Wielding both sun and moon power, he's on a mission to scatter the darkness. His active skill, Bond of Eclipse, tags the first unbound enemy hit in a fan-shaped area and creates a link with them that only Ray and the target can see. If Ray reduces the tagged enemy to a certain HP or below, they get instantly knocked down. If the target is knocked down or eliminated while tagged, Ray's skill resets immediately. For more skill adjustments, here's a quick overview. Some weapons have received balance changes. Check them out. Say hi to Pyro, your new fiery companion. Log in daily to watch Pyro grow and earn rewards. You'll meet Pyro for the first time when you open your profile. Choose Pyro's personality, drag them around your profile or lobby, and watch them pull off all kinds of cool moves. Pyro has 3 states: active, faded, and inactive. Daily logins keep Pyro active. Missing logins dim the flames, and staying away too long makes Pyro inactive. No worries though. Log back in and this little flame'll jump right into action. Every login boosts Pyro's EXP. Keep it going and Pyro will level up from a tiny spark to the ultimate fire puncher. You can also unlock new looks and accessories to give Pyro even more heat. Presets will no longer be locked in once matchmaking starts. Even better, you'll be able to adjust them in the cabin or before the first CS round starts. However, you'll not be able to switch presets once you've used the loadout. Don't forget to tap the preset button to check out what presets your teammates are using before making your choice. In-match quick messages are now smarter and will suggest messages based on what's happening on the battlefield. Tap on the message to send it out to teammates. Some messages will even auto-mark enemies on the mini-map for you. See a player with impressive stats at the end of a match? You can now invite them to your team right from the match results page. Team invites are also smoother. If you accept a booking request while you're in a match, you'll join your friend's team as soon as your current match ends, so you'll never miss an invite again. We can't wait for you to try out the improved filter system and new themed filters like Cyberpunk and Golden Era. Looking for a smoother gaming experience? Try out the new frame rate boost feature. If your frame rate is set to high or above, open settings and enable this feature to enjoy crisper, smoother gameplay. If you love the competitive vibe, the new CS custom room updates are for you. Now you can choose a specific map area for each round to get targeted practice. What's more, play and win like a pro with the new ban and pick mode, complete with the new ban and pick feature, an esports-styled CS store, and gameplay rules. And that's it for today. See you next time, survivors!
Sensei said the moon and the sun aren't rivals. I still believe in that.
俺たちの気合が伝わるってもんだろ。
金ちゃんの言う通りある。コラボのためなら尻の一つや二つ差し足して当然ね。
ゲームは終わりだ。え、皆さん、それって銃？話でやってくんねえか、サダール。そいつは新橋じゃねえんだ。
僕なら噛まれてもいいってことですか？ケリーさん、本当にごめんなさい。
さて、行き先は？
ピーク
って、もしかして僕またメガネだけになってない？
Want to see something cool? Isn't it cute? Let's see what other sea creatures we can discover. What beautiful scenes are hiding under the sea? Let's explore the Undersea mystery. Play matches and complete missions to earn tokens. Then use them to observe sea creatures and unlock them in your guide. The more you discover, the more rewards you can claim. Make sure to check in often, because rare sea creatures will periodically generate extra tokens. In Battle Royale, the adventure starts before you even land with a brand new whale-themed airplane. On Bermuda, look for mysterious whirlpool entrances that take you to the fresh, cool undersea realm. The high-tier loot zone becomes the Hydro Zone, surrounded by towering water walls. Don't worry, though. You and your bullets can still pass through freely. Giant whales will also fly across the sky and drop bubble airdrops as they fly by. And yes, you can fish mid-match. Fishing spots will appear around the map, letting you reel in fish or even loot. Find upgraded fishing spots for even better rewards. Some fish will even follow you after you catch them and grant special buffs. Plus, there's a new event weapon, the Hydro Blaster. Hold fire to spray a continuous, super accurate water beam. When you run out of ammo or reload manually, a QuickTime event will pop up. Hit it to fast reload and gain a buff. Some other weapons can get this QTE reload too, so try them out when you find them. In Clash Squad, the Hydro Blaster is also available, along with the same QTE reload bonuses on select weapons. The Undersea realm joins the Bermuda map pool, and cyber airdrops and spawn areas get themed visuals too. The ocean secrets are waiting for you to discover. Expect the unexpected. Random events may now pop up in Clash Squad to shake things up. You might start round 1 with 1,000 cash, get a random melee weapon each round, receive blue walls over time, and more. Good news to all tactical market enthusiasts. You can now deploy a tactical gadget right at your position with a simple tap. Fast and easy. Meet Ray the Watchman. Wielding both sun and moon power, he's on a mission to scatter the darkness. His active skill, Bond of Eclipse, tags the first unbound enemy hit in a fan-shaped area and creates a link with them that only Ray and the target can see. If Ray reduces the tagged enemy to a certain HP or below, they get instantly knocked down. If the target is knocked down or eliminated while tagged, Ray's skill resets immediately. For more skill adjustments, here's a quick overview. Some weapons have received balance changes. Check them out. Say hi to Pyro, your new fiery companion. Log in daily to watch Pyro grow and earn rewards. You'll meet Pyro for the first time when you open your profile. Choose Pyro's personality, drag them around your profile or lobby, and watch them pull off all kinds of cool moves. Pyro has 3 states: active, faded, and inactive. Daily logins keep Pyro active. Missing logins dim the flames, and staying away too long makes Pyro inactive. No worries though.
Truck running down those blue walls, and that removes RRQ from the equation. What a decision made here by the Vietnamese squad. BE secure. Still up on his feet. On fire, drops him. One final player from the side of Twisted Minds. 3v1. Make that 3 we none. Falcons, you're back-to-back Clash Squad and Battle Royale champions, the dominators of Thailand.
Represent, gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again, get light it up. Represent, had to do it hella big, had to run it back again, light it up. Let it drop. Let it drop. Let it drop.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia 2026 Spring. This is day number 2 of Knockout Stage, and tonight, the fire burns brighter than ever. 18 teams enter the Knockout Stage, but only the strongest will keep their grand finals dream alive. I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia, joined by my brother, the Mustachio AJ, and it's time to unleash the fire.
It's gonna definitely be fire today because Neptune and the Mustachio are back here once again on FFWSC. It is gonna be an exciting one. Yesterday, Neptune, we saw a few squads go out there, dance around the battlefield. We saw how Vietnam rose to the top. Gao Esports. I mean, that was a team that nobody suspected would dominate, and they just crept out of nowhere. Consistent game after game, securing that one booyah that they got yesterday as well, and ending up at the very top. But of course, this is just the group stage. There's going to be a lot of hustle. We've broken it down into a few phases, but all of this hustle is for $300,000 on the table here, Neptune, and 100K USD goes to the champion.
I'm really looking forward to who's going to grab that $100,000 right now. But here's one thing that we and everyone out of this competition is really appreciating. Everyone will be getting a piece of this pie. And also, we've witnessed, and you pointed out from yesterday, that every team who keeps performing would be getting the team of the day. That's $250, and you just mentioned a team that grabbed that first.
Absolutely, man. And of course, every single squad that has made it into FFWSC walks away with something, right? I mean, we've got a little bit for everyone. And of course, if you want a little bit more than a little bit, then you got to hustle. The tournament timeline is going to be quite lengthy. We have got a total of 5 weeks of competition, Neptune. And we have divided this into a total of 3 phases, at least for the group stage as well as the knockout stage. We will elaborate on that in a little bit. But of course, the grand finals will be on the 30th and the 31st. What's different here, Neptune, is this time around, we've got Point Rush making its comeback.
I mean, it's making its comeback right now, and we've seen this before. It's not the first time that we're seeing a Point Rush and the Champion Rush condition being done. And I guess this is something that they are really in preparation with, because what's up next would be where we witness that. But as we go into tournament format, you did mention about 3 phases. In the first week, first phase, it covers week 1 and 2, and the teams will be divided into 3 groups. And I'm really loving that 24 matches need to be played out of 2 weeks for them to get their placement before we go into the next phase.
Absolutely. So phase 1 is just the group stage that we will be playing across the 2 weeks, like you said, a total of 24 matches. Now, phase 2 is where we see the early Point Rush qualifiers coming through, because we will sort the team out after the first phase. Ranked from the 1st to the 12th, the top 12 teams place on day 1. The top 2 teams will qualify. Day 2, another 2 teams will qualify. Day 3, another 2 teams will qualify. A total of 6 teams will qualify early for Point Rush. And then, of course, the remaining 12 teams will have to do battle. And that will come in phase 3. A total of 3 phases just to set up the creme de la creme squads to play in our Point Rush as well as grand finals. And this is exactly what I was talking about, Neptune. 2 teams from each and every single day of play on our week 3 will have the early qualifiers.
Yeah, I'm really loving that. What's important in here is, for those who are doing their best week after week, match after match, they have an early start. The pressure of the phase 3 would be alleviated a little bit, and they can study their opponents as well before they head into Point Rush and grand finals. And that's what's important. But we've seen some teams who like to go for longer runs. And let's see if that's something that we witness right now, especially with the top dogs. But some things that hasn't changed would be the point system as well as a tiebreaker, wherein on the point system, if you get a booyah, you get the 12 points. It goes down by 4 if you go by the 2nd place, and by 1 up until the 10th place. 11 and 12, unfortunately, doesn't get anything, and you need to stack it up with elimination.
And we still do have the one unique active skill rule in place. Every player has to use one active skill, and each player in a team needs to use a different active skill. Basically, you cannot have a active skill repeating within one squad. We are no longer going to see the double, triple Tatsuyas. Imagine a 4-man Valiant Dash setup. That will just be Buriram players whizzing all around you and you getting a migraine. Point Rush, on the other hand, Neptune reintroduced, but it is the good old Point Rush that we all know. Bonus points will be determined based on the team's ranking within Point Rush Day. Regardless of how many points you get, it doesn't matter. We will throw you onto the rankings. the number 1 squad gets 10 bonus points. This is the head start points that you will have within your squad for the grand finals.
Yeah, exactly. And what's important here is if in case the difference between your teams without a point rush or head start point would not be that much, that would definitely help you get ahead. And what is needed to get ahead is to get that 80 points all throughout the grand finals. Once you reach that and you get the Booyah by final match, you would be declared the champion. But if in case no one gets that combination, we go for unlimited games until we get the champion. And that one is what worries me for the teams right here. It's stamina that's really needed for this kind of situation.
Dude, I'm just looking forward to it, man. You know, this could just be the prelude to what we may see on the global finals later on. Unlimited matches, and I hope to God, on that day of unlimited matches, we just have teams who hit the champion rush condition, fail again and again and again, so that we just go down to the I don't know, 12 matches, 15 matches, we will have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to it. Well, we don't have to wait until global finals because Garena has been giving us all the best, and we get the best once again. Unlimited matches here could just be exactly what the Southeast Asian fans have been needing for a long, long time, Neptune.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, we've seen so far in most instances that we've seen Champion Rush, we get the Booyah for the champion. It's only a few chances, if not only one, so we've seen them base it on the ranking. So I'm really looking forward to how these reduces the pressure for the teams as well, because they are not limited in the game number of games. All they have to do is just set the conditions right and they will be the champions, which is just mind-blowing right now of what Garena is doing quite well and their best in this situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, Avida X KDC, the team that definitely made a big impression on both you and me during the Free Fire Max Asia Invitational. They were the dual mode champions there, and they basically wreaked havoc on the Thai region, and they have qualified here as one of the Thai teams looking to impress all of us on the Southeast Asian leg. And guess what? They were hella impressive yesterday, Neptune. A little inconsistent with their bouts, but very aggressive on the start of the day. I loved watching them play, but just couldn't keep up the pressure, right? They didn't manage to get a Booyah by the very end of the day. They did, of course, manage to, on the other hand, find a little bit of repair for their momentum to make a good comeback on that final match. But I feel like more questions need to be asked of the team, and I'm glad we get to see them play in here today as well.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also PE Sports right now who's coming back, who wasn't that strong from yesterday's game. They were left out and they're being taken out a little bit early, or if not, they didn't get that much points. So let's see if there's a chance for them to I would say redeem themselves, but it's still early in the competition. And we've seen a format as well earlier wherein it doesn't hurt that much for the first week if you don't perform. One thing that we are looking forward to is the evolution of each team. If they fail, at least they get back up. They just show up differently match after match, so that we will see the rise of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, today's team list, it's going to be the battle between groups B as well as C. We will welcome for the first time here on FFWS C Spring 2026 the teams of Falcon, EVOS Divine, ACD, Anyone Can Dream, Twisted Minds, Onyx Olympus, as well as Shadow Esports, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Esports, a team that we're looking forward as well in terms of performance, because when teams are being introduced, especially for those in the Satra series, we are quite surprised. One is Bigatron by Vitality, and now we are seeing what was the name again?
Shiryu. No?
No, I mean Sriwijaya.
Visaka
Sriwijaya. So that's another team that really surprises in most instances. And this is a chance for Shadow Esports to surprise us once again. But how is it when you are faced with top dogs coming from Southeast Asia? It might be nerve-wracking right now, but hopefully they can get over it.
Well, Bigatron by Vitality made the same breakthrough, and they were dominating yesterday, man. I mean, quite a number of matches. We saw Bigatron by Vitality at the very top before Gao Esports overtook them at the very last turn. Very exciting, very dramatic opening day that we had yesterday, and I'm hoping for the same today as well. This will be the match schedule for our day 2 here. We start things off on Nexterra, head into Purgatory for game number 2, Kalahari Solara for games 3 and 4, and then Game 5 and 6, instead of it being Bermuda as well as Alpine, we're going to have Bermuda and the randomizer. Alpine is taking a little bit of a rest here on our tournament circuit. And because of that, we welcome back with open arms the randomizer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to how it switches the momentum for some of the teams right now. But seeing that game number 1 right there is in Nexterra, a lot of elimination might be put in. But let's take a peek on the predictions that we have from both sides. And let's do a little bit of comparison as well. This is somewhat based on the performance that we have from yesterday, as well as their past performance. For you, AJ, you have Falcons PE Sports Avida. I have Falcons Avida as well as Team Flash. I want you to explain for that difference though, which is PE Sports.
Yeah, I mean, PE Sports, yesterday we saw how fired up the Vietnamese squads were. I'm just expecting the exact same out of PE Sports as well, right?
Yeah.
They will not be disturbed by big teams like Buriram this time around. They just have to handle, the chumps like Falcons. That should be a walk in the park for PE Sports. And I think PE Sports overall, they did very well in the previous season as well. If you look at PE Sports, it's not the kind of squad that's going to be down all the time, right? We did see them take a little bit of a dip, but in 2025, FFWS C4, they placed 8th. That was a huge jump compared to what they did in 2024. So I'm looking forward to a lot more from them. And usually PE does start off quite strong. How they end the tournament, on the other hand, is of course questionable.
Well, let's see though, as we are now setting up for our first match for today. We're heading into the future right now as we step in to Nexterra. Let's see if the teams are ready for the future, or have they had a foresight already of how they will end this. As the flight is on, it is not just a sunny day, it is a great day for Free Fire.
It's an absolute beautiful day here for Free Fire. Let's head on in and see exactly what we find. Perhaps some hot drops here on the good old Nexterra as we head on in. Flight path looks quite kind to everyone. And of course, the official energy drink, the one and only Red Bull, the sponsors for the tournament.
We're looking forward to how each team will be energized right now because of our sponsors and also the motivation they have for this team. Evo Divine already heading into Grab Labs, as Plazaria will be taken by AG Global. We might be seeing an engagement in here between Avida as well as RRQ and Mudside, but Twisted Mind right now, Boxing Ring, I think they haven't let go of this drop spot just yet, because from the past when they were reverse red, they always drop in this area. But here comes a battle between an Indonesian and a team coming from Thailand that might lead it all.
Well, let's see exactly what Dudes can do. He has got the Zane on him. Needs to jump into the extreme encounter. Long Kong caught out. G36 on the flip. And Dudes almost got taken down and runs into a full squad of Avida players. And RRQ is getting cooked. Ranze on that revival, the final hope for RRQ. But PE Sports was right behind the Avida players earlier on. So this is not the end of the battle just yet for Avida XKDC.
Yeah, Avida right now, full squad. Only a few HP missing out of some players. But I guess they are ready. Shots onto Long Kong, but he did manage to hit that window. And now, the combination of them, especially with the casket they have, might help them avoid that engagement. As we switch over to AG and Evo Divine, aim guard right now with Charge Buster, heading in away from Saifa, who we've seen great movement from yesterday, and also a lot of elimination. But AG Global seems like they might be failing it if Zoo doesn't do it.
Yeah, Ray was cooking them from the back. Winchester straight to the back. 2 players who were bullying one of the EVOS players called Aim God. I mean, if you gang up on him, obviously you're going to get the knock. But you got to respect the way Rasia and Ray, cool, calm, and collected from far away, just took those 3 AG players out within a few seconds, leaving Dew all alone once again on the revival spree.
Now let's see now. Intellect Center occupied by two teams, ACD as well as Magna Esports. And you don't want this battle to happen because these are coming from the same region. But this is one thing, familiarity is something that they have. And if they understand rotation of the teams, they might be able to get ahead. Get Boo right now, missing that initial shot. SKS right now is not doing right here, despite of the buff that he has received.
I think he needs to adjust his UI a little bit because it seemed like he was scoping in, trying to shoot, but he basically misclicked 3 times and gave us the blooper moment. Unfortunate for Magna, they lose out on 1 elimination, and now ACD understands that trouble is looming and they are ready for a fight. Aim God, Valiant Dash, easy one with the M590. Lao Ho goes down. And PE Sports now just challenged a tad bit. Nero will be the next victim here. The 3 players on the side of EWOS just surrounds him. Nero trying to get away, but EWOS has already blocked off the doorway. So smart play by the EWOS players.
I mean, that's one thing. So the best that you can do right now is with the revive. But Aim God just rocking it right now with 2 elimination already at 590 to boot. Now let's see if the boxing gym would still be occupied by a few teams that we expect them, because earlier we saw Twisted Mind in that area, and with all those gunshots, we might see them return. But returning back to Magna Esports, a new contender will be stepping into prey. It is Onyx Olympus, who want to be silent right now, but I think they might be spotted, especially with Team Flash in this area.
Winzy spotting out the squad of Onyx. The noise that they make could just drag in Twisted Minds and Flash in a little bit as well once this battle is over. Mag 7 in the hands of ABCD. Needs to flank around. The electrotherapy is there, but the Valiant Dash! And he doesn't get the knock! The guy walks away. The electrotherapy probably kicked in, and ABCD falls victim to Exposi. And the VSK, Riptide Rhythm ripping down the defenses of Dom as well, forcing him to back away. Mink is stuck all alone in the container. Jump spots him. He drops a glue wall, backs away, barricades himself in, and puts himself into a little bit of a pickle.
The Baz right now putting him down. Team Flash with only 2 players remaining, the Zom and the God. And let's see if the God can recover, because we've seen the snipes right here from the guy, but unfortunately he gets hit by Exposé. That sniper versus sniper battle that we witnessed here, but on the other side, it is Onyx who did steal that knock and managed to do the crime.
I mean, Onyx was just there, right place, right time, got the point, and they say hasta la vista. We've got a different fight to deal with here as well. They thought they were beating down on the Magna players. Magna now hiding away, Get Boo with the double vector in hand, waiting for Adam, who's probably laid out the trip mine already. Winzy just sticking to his spot, not over aggressive, waiting for the rest of his team members to get into position as well. But Twisted Minds appearing. This could just be Magna's opportunity as Onyx now is changed. No, Twisted Minds goes for Magna instead.
Oh, let's see. The Baz right now almost damaged, but here comes the recovery. Twisted Mind twisting Magna Esports out of their mind, and that was quick on how they went. And they're the ones who are new into this party, and I'm really loving that they have that fire already to get a lot of elimination. But easy in, easy out. That's what they're doing. They want to cover as much ground as possible. But Ray right here doing a little bit of acrobatic move, but unfortunately it fails. And AG Global's taking advantage of that. Coach Hill will need to move fast. Otherwise, Nameless will shoot him down. There goes the boost. And will he be able to go for a revive?
Straight into the hands of PE Sports, maybe. Coach Hill out in the open. Shots from afar! And PE Sports wants a piece of them as well. AG Global going in here for the finisher. This might just put AG in the cross of PE Sports, but here comes Amida XKDC right behind the players of PE Sports as well, as EWOS bows out in 11th after an aggressive start.
Oh, definitely aggressive from all the teams right here. A lot of elimination, a lot of engagement, and 2 teams has been eliminated. Now, let's see if ACD can recover out of this, because Twisted Mind is just going all over the place to find all those knocks and elimination. But unfortunately for them, they did lose 2 players. As we look into Avia right now, who started this off hot, will they be able to take down PE Sports, who's just guarding the lower ground in this area of Deca Square?
Vita XKDC, 6 eliminations, starting off hot here today, Neptune. PE Sports, better get the hell out of there because I predicted them to do well too. They cannot get expended so early in the fight. I want both these teams to get to that final circle. But perhaps only one can get out of Decker Square. There is a vending machine here. So no matter what happens, hopefully neither one is too broke.
Well, the one is not broke with 224 right here in Lao Ho. Shot from afar, we know Long Kong. We've seen how well he is on that snipe, but up close and personal against players from PE Esports, he needs to be cautious. Nate being cooked right now, but will it make it? There goes the glue wall, and no, they couldn't push through, but the one breaks through with a valiant dash. Nero, though, has been taken down, and the Min will need to move out, otherwise he will be ganged up by Avita.
Oh, damn, man. Avita is just nasty. Look at them burst through the scene, starting off with a valiant dash off that Oscar, and then everybody going to town. Pablo with the electrotherapy, just constantly making the rushes nameless, and Cypher, perhaps they will have a good opportunity of bumping into Avita XKDC later on to show us exactly who is boss between these two Thai teams, because Avita is uncontrollable right now, Neptune.
I mean, that's something that we want to see, but something that we don't want to have control is PE Esports being eliminated. AG Global, though, in spite of them almost being eliminated early, they go into battle against Shadow. And will they be put in the dark right now? There goes Valiant Dash by Cypher. The movement is not moving that much as they try to beat them down one at a time. But for all angles covered, AG Global instantly eliminated and wiping the floor out with Shadow Esports.
Yeah, I mean, the shadow belongs on the floor, they say, because the sun is up in the skies in the name of AG Global. Beautiful play there. The M590s all popping off. And we need to check out exactly what their passive skills are. Definitely spotted the Antonio in their squad, if I'm not mistaken. But RRQ is having a little bit of a slower push. Even yesterday was a very slow run for RRQ, Neptune. For some reason, they're just not going crazy just yet with the points.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to how well RRQ can recover, at least get a few more points compared to what we've seen yesterday. But I know that the tactic of being silent in the beginning and then towards the end, you make it work towards the final circle. And the same is happening with Team Falcons right now. It's just unfortunate that they had to meet with each other. And if they get caught off guard, then they might be, or either one will be eliminated. On fire, not being seen. Ramsey has been taken down. A Bay might be next.
On Fire needs to finish the job right here, right now. But he's shot from afar. Limit backs him up, takes a Bay out of the equation. Limit is backing up the squad big time, saving On Fire's life right there and then. Pina going in to catch up with him. Dudes will be able to use the jump pad to get to a safer spot. And Falcons potentially might let them go in this situation as Limit is a little bit too far. Had to break his ankles on the drop there.
Yeah, I mean, he went fly high like a butterfly right there. And there's nothing that Falcons can do about it. Diamond, though, a knockdown on two players for Twisted Mind. And they were in the same situation earlier off camera. And it's just unfortunate that they have a lot of elimination already, but couldn't survive because they keep hanging outside with Blue. Even the beam boosters would not help them if someone will be shooting at them. But ACD, well, let's see if their dreams will not turn into nightmares right now as RRQ is in front of them.
ACD, anyone can dream, but can you? As you stand on a grenade, you probably will dream for the rest of your life as it goes away. Far is VSK up close and personal, could not do much in that situation. See if ACD gets out of this little pickle here, barricading themselves in. Twisted Minds, A1 in. AG Global, thankfully a little bit too far away, but the RRQ player is close enough to do some damage.
Let's see what damage he can do right now. Probably surprise backstab against either Twisted Mind or ACD, but Noki trying to pull away, and they're just waiting for their coins to stack up a little bit so they can revive Vice, but unfortunately, they are still being met by Twisted Mind from outside of that compound. So a Leaf right now, well, let's see if he can take that shot or probably just keep quiet before the next phase's circle shows up.
Valiant Dash about to come online once again for the ACD player. Here comes Jump. Easy shot onto Dudes with the Mag 7. Man was distracted. 2v1. Twisted Minds got an easy one off of that. Vending machines right there, so the revival should come through. There you go. Exposy right back in it. And perhaps the hunt for the rest of the RRQ players is on now for Twisted Minds, who are currently sitting on the 11th elimination point.
Let's see, 11 elimination, and it can grow. Still a lot of room to work with, but this next phase of the circle will be quite small. Launchpad being used by Onyx Olympus. They're trying to go for survivability and probably finding the next phase of the circle. They jump dead smack in the middle. Crime almost taken down, but still they can survive. Team Falcons though on the other side, shots and probably will be able to spot a few more other than Team Flash, but they've witnessed AVD right now jump in, so it will be spelling trouble for them as well.
They've hammered up that Car 98 already, as you can see. Falcons doing the exact same for the AWM. So Liminex 7 is going to be a little bit more spicier with those shots off of the snipe in a little bit. Falcons sticking to the very edge of the circle, maneuvering this side perfectly to still stay within the safe zone before the blue can catch up with them. 8 more squads left in here. Man, we do not have enough room, Neptune.
Yeah, no room, and a lot of elimination has been spent already. Now let's see if they can survive, because RRQ seems like they are in the brink of this fight. Now, Nvidia, 10 elimination, just guarding this area. A lot of glue walls has been laid, and they have a good angle against one team. But I guess AG has already left the building and is now moving towards them. Team Falcons making a lot of noise, but Team Flash has been spotted just yet. And ACD though eliminated on 8. Now deal with 17. But it seems like this is where we get a lot of elimination on that board.
Oh man, anyone can breathe out in 8. RRQ following them in 7th. This chaos is just absolutely unpredictable. Names onto the Flash players. They go ahead to pick each other up, but Avida XKDC, dude, like predicted, AG Global booking an appointment up against them. Let's see exactly which Thai squad gets out of this one. The one down. Barros getting hit by that ice grenade. Oh, the pickup coming on through. AVD making sure they secure their players here. Look at all of those glue walls erected to barricade AG Global out of this space.
Yeah, I was expecting that Cryo Mine would be deadly, especially with a few of the players from AG Global just hanging by a thread in terms of HP. But the shift would be favoring them in a bit, and Avida will need to move. But the pressure coming from Team Flash from that top floor, especially when Team Falcons just stopped and gave up on putting them down. I think that barrage of blue wall is really helping them put so much pressure on AG Global. But here comes the shift, and Twisted Mind wants to take a lead.
They definitely want the lead for sure. Falcons approaching from the back. AG Global gets the advantage with the circle as it starts moving towards them. Avida XKDC does not need to come out of their compound just yet and put themselves in harm's way. Flash, on the other hand, will be needing to watch out for the position of AG Global as they try to reposition. They've already built such a decent barricade of glue walls for themselves, but as they move, they will lose all of those defenses and have to restart in a new spot. But here comes Onyx Olympus as well. And Flash in the right place at the right time. 3 players down on the ground. And Onyx struggling to survive. Falcon stealing 1 point away from all those knocks that Flash got. And Flash does not secure a single elimination after those knocks.
Oh, let's see. I mean, there are still 3 alive for Onyx Olympus. When I think it was time to say it's Onyx time, they were gunned down. But Avida, though, surprisingly, because of despite of all the pressure that they felt earlier from AG Global, from Team Flash, they're still alive and kicking. Now, let's see who else will they be kicking at this point, because Team Flash, they have a good vantage point earlier, but it doesn't pay dividends in terms of numbers. They're left with 1 elimination and also being pushed into the next phase.
Flash on the ground floor, Falcons right above them. They've got the windows to make that exit, and then quickly reposition on these container boxes as well. Onyx Olympus right outside. They've recovered, but they did lose 1 player in that scuffle earlier with the Flash players on the roof. 6 squads still alive, Neptune, on the 17th minute. This is ridiculous. 23 players alive. Oh, Adam, like Mr. Bean, just fell straight. from nowhere.
Yeah, I remember that scene though, the intro. But see now, we were laughing right now, but I think the teams are not laughing because you did pointed out something great. 16, and the circle is shrinking, and I don't think they can group into 4 right now to not let this boat sink, because it seems like the whole ship would sink and everyone will be pulled into it. But Team Flash right now going in against Onyx Olympus. No, they made a detour on the other side. Will they be able to make this high ground against AG Global and probably get a good view against everyone else? For Team Falcons, will they be able to push through against Onyx Olympus and take that lower ground?
What circle is this, man? 18 minutes in, 22 players still alive except that Mr. Bean moment. Nobody else has fallen. This is ridiculous. Circles closing in now. Absolute chaos about to erupt, and all those glue walls put down defensively by Flash and Falcons, now turning against Falcons. Amina X KDC bumping into Twisted Minds and Onyx at the very same time. The one finds Exposi. Anusin fighting one. Twisted Minds being capped by all sides. AG Global getting involved in the fight as well, and Twisted Minds out in 6.
Out in 6, 5 teams remaining, and Vida still staying strong. Falcons though falling to their knees, and AG Global the one doing it. The Zom trying to survive with only a few HP. Will he be able to recover? Two is slowly inching in onto that compound. Potential backstab, but Two is quick enough to pull up the glue wall. Here comes the shift. Here comes the zone closing in, and Nameless that's in the middle. Even the God doesn't survive, and Avida has the high ground. They might be able to take this. Booyahs! Everyone else is almost on the ground.
Absolutely, and they also revived the one. Avida X KDC, the duo mode champions of the Free Fire Max Asia Invitational, the champions of the Thai circuit. As predicted yesterday, they're not just here to play, they are here to dominate and prove that they are one of the best in the world. This is definitely the dream run for any Free Fire esports squad. Holy Lord, how is Amita doing this? And they managed that chaos so well, Neptune. Through all of that, they still had the vending machine. They didn't want to let go of that spot. They spotted out the players of Twisted Minds. They went in for the knocks, and they were lucky in that situation that Twisted Minds did not get the shots off of them. But of course, luck also played its part. The reason why AG could not go full on was because they were being shot at the back as well by AG Global, and Avida X KDC managing to survive that chaos, rotate around the open blue, taking the damage and surviving through all of that. This is so impressive.
So impressive indeed, and holy mackerel. I didn't expect Nextera to be that chaotic. I know that a lot of nation can be gathered out of this map, but how that ended was just, like, depending on luck, depending on how quick you move, but we've seen Avida X KDC just pull away from everyone else. They did deal with Onyx Olympus, but they took the high ground, even stacked up all those glue walls so that no one can get in on them. And AG Global, the final survivor that was healing, but it's not in the middle of that shift, is really, it could have taken it, but it was really in trouble. So I want to see another one like that, AJ.
I don't see, unfortunately, with the way the cameras were, and we couldn't really see exactly which player it was, but Tawan just got revived. I don't know if he was that final one that made the difference, but like you pointed out, the AG Global player was just a little bit too far away from the circle either way, and these boys were playing the patchwork on themselves with those med kits a little bit too early because they didn't really need to take the gunfights anymore. Chaos had already set in, the circle was closing in, dealing enormous damage, and Avida X KDC managing to survive what could be the most catastrophic circle we have seen in like a long time, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time we've seen that in Purgatory, where there's water involved. But here in Nextera, there's no water. It's just buildings, everyone's still staying alive. And I'm just really looking forward to how much points these teams gathered in there. If only a few HP has been damaged by one specific team or one specific skill, they could take advantage of that situation and then rake up that number to their side. But if it's just the zone who's eating them up, then they might have missed out on a lot of points. So I'm really looking forward to see how it ended in terms of numbers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, through all of that chaos, if you got anything decent, good enough, right? The teams that were taken out way too early, yeah, they are lucky that they didn't need to deal with that mess because it was just I think the heart rate of those players would have been through the roof at that point of time, trying to just deal with all the angles, right? I mean, no matter where you had to look out for. And I think the players of Onyx, they took a jump pad, went straight into the middle of all of that chaos, got shot at by Flash, who was in the perfect place at the right time, but they just could not finish off the Onyx players because of the quickness. Now, we didn't get to see that fight, but I can imagine exactly what happened. The flurry of glue walls that would have come out of the Onyx squad just to survive, pick each other up, because 3 consecutive knocks came on through. Only one was stolen away from AG Global. The 3 players ended up surviving on the side of Onyx. So you can see it's just no moment to think at all in that situation. Everybody just had to act. And I think that was the best match to prove exactly what this server is like, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Southeast Asia is crazy, and this is just one of those instances that everyone from the chat out there, even other region, would really feel that how Southeast Asia is. But
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to how well they can change it up, because I don't think we'll see Nextera that easily with that kind of situation. Though I'm looking forward to it, but with most instances in the battle, they don't eliminate the squad a little bit early in that match. I'm not quite sure if that's just the tactics of the team or it's just the map itself. But as we look into game highlights right now, let's celebrate our MVP. It's Pablo from Avida XKDC with 7 elimination, 3366 on a damage, and also wears that M590.
Absolutely, man. And of course, the top 5 eliminations here as well from Cypher and the Bass, both having 8 eliminations each, followed by Pablo, Nameless, and Limit having 6 and 5 eliminations. And one thing in common between all the top 5 eliminations is it came from every single Thai team that's playing within this group combination. AG Global, Avida, Twisted Minds, as well as Falcons. The Booyah team stats, on the other hand, Cassie, A124, Nero, Oscar. Because of some of the camera angles, we're just not able to see a lot of the active skills and their activation this time around in these battles, Neptune. But one thing that we could clearly see was the usage of the Valiant Dash as well as the electrotherapy off of Pablo.
Yeah, and this is what you have been pointing out from yesterday, the use of Olivia as well. It's Pablo and Tawan using that Olivia, and if I'm not mistaken, there's always connected to the hip. So I'm really looking forward to how the meta can be shifted because of that ideation, and it is working in this instance. But elimination-wise, the numbers-wise, it's just Pablo who's just bringing that much. 5 elimination coming from Tawan, but not so much for Long Kong and Undersea. But we've seen so many knocks coming from Long Kong from a distance, because he's a sniper of the team, but it's a conversion that they need to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've been able to convert fairly well. Vita XKDC yesterday, they were very aggressive going in for those pushes. Today, you can see a little bit of the more passive side of Avida. And I like this because it's not passive to a point where they are avoiding those engagements. They're still getting into some scuffles throughout the fight. And speaking of Thai teams dominating the top 5 of the eliminations, look at them dominate this first match standings here. All Gamers Global, Avida XKDC, Twisted Minds, Team Falcons in the top 4 with 29 and 28 points going to All Gamers as well as Avida. And this is the one that I talked about randomly. I wanted to see how the interaction between Avida as well as All Gamers Global would be. And the gods of RNG literally gave it to me in the same game, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how well Avida fortified their compound, but AG Global was not phased at all. The moment that they know that they couldn't push against Avida, they went into the other compound, taking the second floor, but it's just unfortunate that they were a little bit delayed as that shrink happened. But as we look into the overall standings, Avida XKDC taking the lead right now against AG Global, only with 3 points. But I guess this can easily be fixed by AG Global right now, especially with how these players has been showing up. Cypher with the movement, Do with the snipe, and there's a lot more to see out of this battle, especially in upcoming maps.
Yeah, man, and this is the season for Dew. We can see his snipes are hitting like they really show no mercy at all. Yesterday, in one of those matches, I'm sure you watched that, Neptune.
Yeah.
AG Global got 19 eliminations and 0 placement points. That was just bloody ridiculous, and that's just how good AG is when they're going out for the hunt, right? And I think that yesterday they just encountered too many of those situations that they did not plan, that they just had to react to, respond to in that very moment, and Dew performed very, very well. This time they were playing it a little bit more careful as they were rotating into the circle, so they get around the same number of eliminations, but with placement points.
Yeah, and the one thing though, I mean, it's more of Saipa who did so much of that. It was game number 4, 10 elimination out of the guy, and the rest who just took the 9. And that's one thing that we want to see even more coming from him. And I've seen the chat, and I was part of the chat from yesterday. I've been in there, and then there was just Saipa everywhere. So I really know, or we really know that this guy has what it takes to take the lead. But let's bring it over to next map, AJ. I guess there's no waiting for the battle to continue.
Nah, we are about to head on into Purgatory. As we head into this map, the big question is going to be who's going to rise up to the top within the day. Earlier on, Magna, teams like Esports, anyone can dream, EVOS, they all got eliminated way too early. The biggest task for them this time around is just going to be survive the first 90% of the game, because earlier, if you survive 50%, it wasn't enough.
It definitely is not enough. But as we look at the flight path right now, coming from Crossroad, heading into Lumber Mill, Twisted Mind, heading into Moat House, their home ground, I would say, in this specific map. ACD dropping in together with PE Sports, but Magna Esports double back and will be joining this 3-way battle. But they did split up onto Martel Works, so that's a saving grace for the team, making sure that they can survive a little bit more. But Crossroad right now, I don't think anyone would be happy to be here, especially in this early of a fight.
Trap's just trying to get lucky there. The Min are patiently waiting with the Cord. Cord this early in the game is just gonna rip through your skin, man. Russia snuffed out with a mini Uzi here. Oh, it's just a CQC battle, 50-50. Everybody's on the mini Uzi from the drop, and they are slugging it out between the two. EVOS getting the players on the side of Flash. Oh, so Chill will pay for that elimination. My goodness me. He did not see that coming. And ABCD gets a triple and a save onto the God as well. Flash will be able to pull off the revivals. EVOS Divine out early.
ABCD singing ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3, and he did manage to get that finisher. But let's head over to Onyx right now as they deal with a few players from Shadow. One takes down Sightfa on their side, and that is what's showing in the minimap as well. We have 3 teams in here, but everyone's spread out. Probably it's because of compound, specifically in fields, and it is just a standstill between Rin as well as Crime as they wait for any cue or any sound cue for them to go for the push. There goes a Cryo Mine. He has been spotted. It has been taken down, but I think Crime pulling out the LMG will be able to make this hit, but Rin right now, rinse and repeat, he will be taken down.
Evens with a quick revival here for the Onyx side. And Shadow looking for that finisher. Shinzi already tagged. Has the Mag 7. Sicily trying to close down the space here. And Barros helping out Onyx. With that knock, Onyx Demons taking advantage but could not overwhelm Rin, who just walked on in there with the SMG. And Onyx, the rest of the players just have to figure out exactly how to survive down to the final circle if this is going to be the way they take those engagements.
Definitely, I need to think outside the box, into the box, whatever they have to do, as long as they can survive. But ACD right now, hopefully they're not just dreaming, because they managed to take down one of the players, but LBT, the moment that he get picked up, goes for the Valiant Dash, but good enough, Leaf was sharp on that M590 and managed to go for a takedown. Now, that's one more remaining, if I'm mistaken, if I'm counting it right. for this team of PE Sports, but he is nowhere to be found. And here comes Faiz right now. I guess he got a little whiff of where he is, but the run is quite long, and the crossover has been done already, so ACD will be left dumbfounded as to where the final player is.
And good ninja skills coming on through here.
See, I have to pull up the UAV though.
It's like, where the hell is this guy? Had to go with the UAV play. Still can't find him. Used up the binoculars already. Just got to figure out a better way. Onyx, on the other hand, again with the rematch up against Shadow. Both squads have recovered. It's a 4v4. Easy fight. One pulling out the power foul. Ice grenade. It's just going to go wide. One not tickled by that at all. Shinzi helps him out. A little long with that ice grenade and doesn't give him any advantage at all.
Yeah, no advantage at all. And probably it's just the angle. But let's see if they'll be able to recover right here. Onyx Olympus, though, they still have 3 players. But the way Shadow is moving in from the shadow into the light right now might eat up Onyx Olympus, but one has been knocked down. The pickup has been done, but Demons already smell blood and now rushing in with a Drogon, but unfortunately gets hit by Rin. Onyx Olympus, though, is trying to make work of Shadow as they try it as a third-party engagement, but they couldn't stick to it, especially with Crime far away from the rest of the gang. That is trouble area against Shadow Esports at the moment.
And after a very early encounter, the team of Avida XKDC has exited the lobby in the 11th spot. That was way too early after just taking a single elimination, leaving a little bit of space here for AG Global now to catch up with them on that number 1 spot. AG Global doesn't need to do much. Surviving under the final circle is going to be more than enough. But of course, do they want to keep on to that number 1 spot? Then they got to hustle, pick up some points here. RRQ, fighting some decent ones with those eliminations. Onyx versus Shadow Esports is... So, I mean, you see where I'm coming from, right? Onyx is just looking a little bit scattered right now in terms of their thought process now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really worried on how well they can move forward. I know they were previous champions, but there's a lot of speculation that's going in there because of how this team has been playing from the earlier parts of that tournament towards the end. But this shows that Onyx Olympus still doesn't have a fixed view of their strategies, and this is playing it as it is. Now, Zyro right now, let's see if he'll be able to spot out the opponent that is quite next to him, giving opportunity for Adam, but Adam has bird's eye view against Rin. But with time before they go for the engagement, this might be what Shadow is taking advantage of. There goes a knockdown from both sides. The pickup can be done by Zyro, and no one from Shadow is stepping in.
Onyx may not look like anything right now, but let me remind all of you guys that they were the champions of FFWS Spring 2025, all right? Exactly 1 year ago. This is where they became champions. So I'm not going to count them out just yet, because usually Onyx, I mean, they're not the most powerful team to come out of Indonesia, but they do enough to squeeze themselves into the finals. And all they need to do is just figure out exactly how to get the 80 points, you know, and then the booyah. And they did it last year, all right? So just can't be counted out just yet.
Well, let's see, though. Shadow, though, despite of the great showing that they have against Onyx Olympus, they have been taken out by AG Global for elimination. Make that 5 elimination already for AG. So definitely they will be taking the top against Avida XKDC that got eliminated early, but they're hanging outside the blue and shot by Sypha against Crime out in the open. And this is trouble for Onyx Olympus. They need to move away. Vehicle being used, but Adam might be spotted by Du. Shots not making it, but Du says no.
Oh, no, don't stop to save him. Zyro's out of there. Oh, but Du, the follow-up with the AWM. This is so the meta for the snipers, and Du is loving it. Nameless with the M59, he puts the final nail on the coffin for the Shadow Esports players. Takes them out in 10.
Oh, it's trouble zone. Now let's see PE Sports against Rian. Green went down the drain, and PE Sports took advantage for elimination already for the team. But earlier, I mean, I wasn't expecting that shot coming from, well, it's somewhat expected, but with the vehicle, you couldn't land it quite easily. But what else can do not do in those situations? As they head, yeah, go ahead.
First of all, he pre-aimed and he shot the first guy out of the vehicle. And then he continued to chase the second guy, who I thought had gotten away already, but he just knows the positioning on his map. I mean, his map awareness is just a different level altogether, again with the pre-aim, and got the second guy down as well. I mean, Dew is a monster, man. You just gotta love watching him play.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm loving it, especially after he made a showing on the Clash Squad finals, grand finals. And this is what I'm saying on chat, right? He should have a graffiti out there on that specific spot in Zipway, just to honor the guy of how well a sniper and a player he is. But, well, let's see though, if that would happen, because we've seen like them rise already, and slowly they're rising to this day because they're taking that #1 spot away from Avida.
Now, Dew's not a... Dew didn't just pop up yesterday, right? He has been hustling for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely has been carrying AG Global for the longest of time now. I mean, Dew is AG Global at this point. Falcons, on the other hand, one of the biggest rivals of AG Global, has taken a very slow approach to the circle this time round. It's a surprising approach from Falcons, I would say, Neptune.
Yeah, well, surprising that they're not that aggressive, especially with their prestige. We know that they have it in them. But I guess this is one thing that we've seen so many times, not only from Falcons, but also in Buriram, being silent in the beginning. And then towards the end, once you find that final circle, you get, or you take advantage of all the chaos. But chaos might be ensuing in a bit. The next phase will be coming down in 25 seconds. PE Sports spotted. A little bit late on the trigger, though, with that ridge already covering PE Sports, but hopefully their position was not revealed. Otherwise, they might be ganged up by Team Flash, who's just next door.
Yeah, and PE Sports cannot afford to get taken down early again. They're going in for the Hansai rule. Cannot get away. LBT with the Car 98 sorts him out, and they're going for the long flank around the circle. And most probably looking for the weapons arsenal as well. Not upgraded, or has that been upgraded? As they need to hit it right now for just a little bit extra prep before the next big battle for themselves.
Yeah, let's say, I mean, speaking of preparation, a lot of teams are already making a good job on reviving their teammates. The only problem, though, is where to drop. A lot of real estate already being taken in this specific area of the map. It's a good thing it doesn't end up on the water. Otherwise, it would be chaotic once again in that final circle. But RRQ, 8 elimination already. We didn't see most of them, but we've seen that on the elimination feed. So let's see if they can just carry this over, wait it out until the next phase, and then head into where they need to be to take a position on the high ground where they're best at.
Yeah, Ranze, the newest player on the side of RRQ, doing fine at this point of time. 2 eliminations already on his side. Team Flash, on the other hand, looking for the recovery play. And they'll definitely need to hustle just a little bit here. It's a fairly new squad, apart from ABCD and the God, who brings in the veteran presence on the side of Flash. But the team has just been up and down, Neptune. I wonder if they've figured out their chemistry here, because they are not showing capabilities to dominate just yet.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is with the Flash. It fizzles out after a few seconds, unless it's the fire.
It's just like a flash. It's just like poof and then gone.
Yeah, unless the fire where it can grow. So let's see if that's something that they can start off a fire out of a flash. But Team Falcons right now, silent indeed. But I'm pretty sure with with all that walking around, looking away, they got a picture of where everyone is. They're getting into next phase of the circle. Shots onto them. Glue wall stacked perfectly just to save them. Pinedo doesn't heal up just yet. Not quite sure if he was left out. I'm not seeing the full 4. But here comes Team Flash. Position-wise, they're doing quite well. But will they be able to get elimination as much as possible this time around?
Oh, they're going in here for the hunt onto RRQ. If Flash pulls this off, they might just be the consistent squad I'm looking for. And they might be rebranded to Light. Because, you know, Flash constantly equals light.
Flashlight.
No. 5 eliminations for Flash so far. And the deep in the next zone. Magna just beside them. This is going to be pretty worrisome of a position to hold on to because real estate is going to be scarce when the next bunch of squads look for this safe zone as the circle starts to squeeze them all in. And Flash might just have some unwanted visitors visiting them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're dead smack in the center of that next phase, but what worries me, Max and Esports, because there's still a lot of compound right next to them as we look in AG Global trying to take one of those and do on the roof, shot on the crime, almost a takedown. Just managed to move before a headshot happened! Speaking of headshot, Do is doing it once again, not knowing where it's coming from, but the signal has been triggered, and the rest of AG is going for the push, but unfortunately Do has been taken down, but the battle is not yet over for AG.
And Onyx getting wiped out one after the other. RRQ just whipping out the M79, grenade launcher, finding player after player, and now they're turning their attention over to AG as well. Here comes Runzay, Dudes walks in with the M79, those grenades looking for the players, and the God nade, thanks to the grenade launcher from Dudes, obliterates them. 12 eliminations strong. RRQ looking solid right now in and prepared for the next circle. Just a vending machine beside them as well. They have to be careful because that's going to be Dragon and Twisted Mind.
Let's see if they can drag in this fight. But Dudes, God Nade coming from the God Nader. I'm really loving that. But as we look into Esports trying to go against ACD, they're losing a lot of the players. Nero takes cover, but ACD is outside of blue, also outside the lightning zone. And the Min is doing his best to survive and revive his teammate. But unfortunately, it's shots from afar from the Flying Falcons who's trying to take Sword in this fight.
Yeah, very specifically a Flying Limit who's just unlimited with the flare when it comes to those plays. My goodness, PE Sports just stood no chance up against him. Magna having a decent spot for themselves. Twisted Minds for the FGL shot, forcing them away from the window. And now, both Falcons and Twisted Minds hunting down the Flash players, but Twisted Minds soaking up a majority of the points. And RRQ stole one elimination away from Falcons as well. Falcons got nothing from that.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons was left out in there and Team Flash was out like a flash. Now, let's see if Falcons can take advantage of the position. But surprisingly, they're the ones who's taking over of that area where Flash has been wiped out. But let's see if the shift of circle can be favorable for them. Magna Esports, great that they're surviving this quite well in this engagement. Not being taken down, not being rushed. But for how long? Because Twisted Mind RRQ is in great position right now to work with the shift up the circle. Probably take advantage of their high ground to gun down either Falcons or Twisted Mind who's running just behind them.
Yeah, Twisted Minds now looking for the approach onto RRQ. This could be a great plan or a terrible one because RRQ's dudes might still have some grenades left on that grenade launcher for the attack. Ma'al turning around with the AWM and VSK back-to-back getting those knocks. But Magna barricading themselves with those glue walls, picking up their players. Twisted Minds now starting to flank around RRQ. They don't want to fight. They don't want that smoke.
Yeah, they don't want to smoke. They want to shift with the circle. And Magna Esports would be the ones being delayed and taken advantage of by Team Falcons. All utilities being thrown at them, especially those that damaged the knockdown. Only Verus remains. Will he be able to defend or probably survive even longer as the rest of the teams is getting close? But I don't think that would work. The moment he steps out of that window, he will be gunned down. Not only by Pina and on fire, but also from the other side. But here has no choice. And there goes the shot from Pina.
And finally, the battle between Twisted Minds. Oh, Riptide Rhythm out of nowhere! And Dudes could not get away from that heat. Abay now going in for the chase with the M590. Ball catches up. One more shot needed and Abay delivers. But now he needs to get away. Jumps right in. And now the interference from Falcons as well. The Riptide Rhythm wiping out Twisted Minds instantaneously. And now Falcons looking for RRQ. A smart retreat from RRQ here. Puts a little bit of space between themselves and the Falcon players.
Now let's see how silent Falcons was earlier. They are making noise right now. Ransay has been taken out. Abay goes in for a fire against Pina. It's a 2v2 situation. Ma'al right now up close and personal. That's not his forte. But I think the blue would save him, but it's a 1v3 situation, and the Bay might be saying bye-bye as Falcons would run them over. And there you have it. Guerrero, a Bay!
One more.
Will he be able to go for the clutch? This might be the time.
Beautifully done. Riptide Rhythm breaking down all of the defenses, and Limit at 7 with the Skylar gets the clutch. And the Riptide Rhythm, the final blow. And in fact, that was not the first time. Earlier on, the Riptide Rhythm was the main reason why RRQ went scrambling. The Riptide Rhythm was definitely the reason why Twisted Minds got obliterated instantly the moment Falcons showed up. And Limit definitely showing that this meta is his to dominate.
Yeah, it's a meta that is not being used by a lot of players. It's a specific Limit meta. And that is why he is considered one of the best snipers, because he knows how to use not only the snipe, not only the weapon, but also the skills that is used by snipers for up-close battle. And that pinch, that final blow, really is something that Bay was not expecting.
I mean, nobody was expecting that, right? Because first of all, Skylar is not really the first choice of a lot of the snipers.
Yeah.
We have been seeing many of the snipers try to go for remorse, maybe thinking that they can reposition well out there on the battlefield, but it's just not working out the way many of the snipers are feeling. Not saying that the Moss is out of the selection. The Skylar just isn't that number one pick. Until Limit now is setting up a fantastic case as to why that Riptide Rhythm should be in your number one choice sometimes if you're a prime sniper like him, because that was a brilliant clutch. Because Abe almost 1v3 the whole squad and embarrassed Falcons right there.
Yeah, I mean, if he has a little bit more of glue walls, he might be able to survive that, because yes, the Riptide Rhythm has been pulled out. It only breaks down a few. He still have one, but it's in an off angle. But it's just a pressure. Probably he doesn't have the glue wall. He might have it, but it's also the zone closing in, and Limit is already on point, especially as he kept distance. So I'm really looking forward to this side of Falcons and RRQ, and we're seeing greatness out of these top dogs. And it's been a while, though, that we've seen this kind of fight from RRQ. Falcons, yes, slow from the beginning, hot on the start. We often see that, but not from RRQ.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, right? I think RRQ, we need to see them ramp it up a little bit here, because yesterday it wasn't a great day for RRQ. They had a rough start. They were giving their average like around 12 points within a game, and that's not bad, but it's just not the usual version of RRQ that we see out there ravaging the other squads for points. So I think in this game, they performed so much better than their performance yesterday, so that's a good thing. Even in the earlier match, it wasn't their best performance, only 10 points in total, Neptune. But what Falcons were able to do in that final bout, was it enough to overtake RRQ and their performance? Because RRQ farmed a lot of eliminations this time around, all thanks to Dudes and the M79.
Yeah, I mean, it's the number of matches, but in terms of the averages, I think Team Falcons has done a lot already to overtake RRQ. Because Team Falcons, they were just introduced today, and they're already making a huge run match after match. Earlier, again, similar to what we've seen earlier, in that specific map of Purgatory, they just are not engaged. They're not that active enough. But you can see in the position as well as the view, the POV that we're seeing, they're taking notes of where the opponents are, crossing the river, getting in position, and they know exactly where to drop if in case they use that launch pad. And that is something we don't see every day from the other teams right here in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and speaking of Southeast Asia, it seems like Southeast Asia is filled with veteran survivors who know how to get to that final circle. It's not easy, man, because, you know, battles up against squads of this level, you are going to get wiped. That shows the efficiency, that shows the clarity in terms of map awareness from all of these squads on how to navigate themselves towards that final circle. 2 games in a row now, we've had way more numbers that we can manage for that final zone. It's just erupting into chaos. Of course, earlier it was just beyond chaos, beyond pandemonium. Now a little bit more manageable, but still, these final circles are stacked, Nep.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to more of that with how these teams are adapting. But let's take a peek of the skills coming from Team Falcons. We keep talking about that Skylar.
Yep.
It was being used by Eliminix 7, but they also have On Fire on the Time Turner as well as a Valiant Dash by Pina. So great frontliners indeed. And then Keroro in there with that Cryo Mine. So if in case they need a little bit of backup, they can throw that Cryo Mine and join the fray or help out Eliminix 7 on the back end of that fight before they, like, with just a long range engagement. So I'm really loving this combination out of the active skill.
And because of the fact that the A124 is back in action, the Joseph cannot be dropped by the rushes. You see On Fire and Pina being forced to bring the Joseph in there. And you also notice the fact that they don't run an Olivia. They're just depending on the Tiba. So pickups are going to be quick from the side of Falcons, but the recovery play is not going to be as fast. But this is where Falcons are not really feeling the pressure because they're good on their feet until they get caught out. So it's a very risky play in my opinion, Neptune. They are opting for the Nikita over the Olivia. They want those faster reloads, especially On Fire and Pina. They want to get those eliminations, but it's just not clocking out for them. This was not the biggest game for Falcons so far.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of numbers, definitely not the biggest game. But I do agree why they're working with the reload with that Nikita. It's because in most instances, they hit the shot, but if in case you don't get a headshot, like you will be a little bit short in terms of getting that elimination. And we've seen how well they played. And with the numbers, it's a great balance of 12 and 12 out of elimination and placement. RIQ, Kazu though, taking lead right now because of elimination 17 that they got out of that map.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, this is a brilliant statistic here for RRQ Kazu to pull off because this was nothing like what they played yesterday. So RRQ is definitely back in it to win it. Twisted Minds getting far into the circle as well. Just a total of 14 points for themselves. But looking at the overall standing for the day, RRQ is still playing catch up. Like you said, they have not been able to do enough to overtake Falcons just yet because Falcons are still keeping up. And of course, the Booyah giving them exactly what was needed to keep them ahead in terms of tiebreaker or the extra 3 points that the Booyah does give you. So RRQ not too far. AG Global though in that number 1 spot, and you gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving as well that they're Thailand is maintaining their top spot. RQ squeeze themselves in there number 3. So I'm really looking forward to how well RQ can overtake not only Team Falcons but also get ahead AG Global, because especially in the next map wherein Kalahari is involved and that's where their strength is. But before we go there, let's head over to the overall standings. Taking the lead still AG Global and Navita. RQ again doing the great lengths of trying to catch up, taking to the 3rd spot. But well, I guess with GOW, who will not be playing today, and even BTR, WAG, Heavy, they will be pushed down leaderboard by the end of this day.
Yeah, definitely. I think Flash is going to be climbing over them as well. And just obviously nothing that Gao or Bigatron can do about it alongside the other squads because they're just not playing. But if you take a look at the consistency of climb, I really like what I'm seeing so far. But out of Indonesia, Onyx, Shadow Esports, and EVOS, they are struggling at this point of time, Neptune. Granted, Onyx, Shadow, as well as EVOS just made their entry into play today. But still, after 2 games, I would have expected more, at least from EVOS Divine.
Yeah, I mean, EVOS Divine, silch on the placement. Not like none of them getting past the 10th spot. And that is something that we don't see often. Most of the time, they use Rasia to get information, similar to what we've seen. If we just like look back to what we've seen in Team Falcons, that's the usual tactic of EVOS Divine. They get information and then prepare for the battle, but it is not happening right now. But let's see if Kalahari can give that opportunity as we are getting into the dry and desert lands of Free Fire. Kalahari, our game number 3.
EVOS Divine should be jumping back into a decent performance. Last year was one hell of a good year for EVOS Divine. They became the champions of the Esports World Cup. FFWS fall, they got the 5th spot. In the global finals though, they could only manage the 9th spot for themselves. So a little bit of a dip in terms of coming off of the championship from EWC. But if you compare where they were in the previous year's global finals, ranked 13th, they still did much better in 2025. And I expect the statistics to get better as the year go on by. 2026, I do expect them to be in the top 5, Neptune. And perhaps this is where they warm up.
Yeah, let's see. This is a good chance for them to warm up, and I'm really looking forward to that movement as well, because that tells a lot of how a team is evolving. On global finals, they are moving up, but after getting the champion, it means that other teams are catching up to them. So let's see that storyline that will be followed. But as we go into EVO's Divine right now against Team Flash, they need to survive this if they can clear over that storyline.
And the flank around, gets aim guard, the spot onto Mink. Mink actually dodges that with the Valiant dash, but will still get capped. ABCD now catching up with him with the MP40. ABCD flanks around, Zom is down, and the God is here for the follow-up. Russia, the only player left on the side of EVOS. 600 coins, should be able to pull off a revive here. So the team of EVOS gets to survive, all thanks to their sniper, just like what was happening in the Esports World Cup. I dare say, without Russia, there's no way EVOS would have become champions at EWC last year.
I do agree. The Wonder Kid who saved them in that fight. But the God in there was using Ray as well. It's not like I'm just saying that it's an underrated skill for the moment, because in situation like that, you get a spot on your opponent, and if you're the rusher, you can just run towards them. Get the information to the rest of the squad, gang up on one specific area, and then if in case there will be a switcheroo that will be done with the opponent, at least you're ready with your backup. And that's what has been done in there by the God, as well as Team Flash in that specific moment. But unfortunately for them, they couldn't eliminate EVO's Divine, so that can be a threat towards later as they go into the rest of the maps.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The Bond of Eclipse has definitely been a little bit of a wrecker when it comes to the rank matches. There's not so much of a popular active skill here to be used when it comes to competitive just yet, because of the fact that your opponents will be able to see the Bond of Eclipse as well, be able to react accordingly to your position. The Esports doing great against Magna, and the Malaysian squad out in 12th.
It's just unfortunate that they're not doing quite well as expected, especially if they have prestige and record as well. But Ranze, first time you saw him, he has been a wrecker, and especially with the motivation that they have from the previous match, they will be wrecking a lot of teams. So Team Falcons right now a little bit too active this time around. ACD as well as Shadow in the same compound. Pina though moves away, but unfortunately doesn't make it. But Keroro was picked up, recovers. Will he be able to get out? Because he's the final player, sole survivor of that Team Falcons team. There goes Shadow from the Shadows, who takes him down, and Falcons will get that curse.
Damn, man, the curse of the Booyah is active here on day 2. Avida XKDC bit the dust after the Booyah, and so does Falcons. You gotta love it. I mean, yeah.
I was not expecting that to happen. It's more of their usual strategy that they need to work on, but it's just unfortunate as well that they have to deal with two teams. First, it was it's not just Shadow who was at their area. Just couldn't remember which one it is, but they were just caught off guard, I believe. Thus, they didn't fire back in that area, in that engagement. So let's see if there's something that they can work on the next map. But as we move into Onyx Olympus, they're dealing with a lot of stragglers, but position-wise, they're in a good spot.
AG Global now up against Flash. Electrotherapy connected to Cypher. He gets knocked. Sorry, he gets tagged. But the players on the side of Flash is a little bit too far away. Spots one right down below. The God just running around them. Riptide Rhythm breaks down the defense of ABCD. Deuce definitely the culprit from the back. Bolt Maker played. ABCD gets caught by Sci-Fi, and 590, and he valid dashes out of that. And now here comes the full squad of Flash going in to hunt down AG Global. Barros backing away with the Trogon. He gets the knock. M590 in action as well. Bison pulled out. Mink is caught. Barros running wild on the players on the side of Flash.
And Cypher was left alone, dealing with the God as well as the Zom, and he was not taken down. Now that rescue is here, Team Flash might be out on Flash. Zom is already there on the ground, and there it goes, Team Flash out on contention, and AG Global just wrecked them. But another wrecking is happening right here between Twisted Mind and Avita. Though the pickup has been done, Undersea will need to move away. The revive has been done on Tawan as well, so that's a saving grace. But might be meeting up with Esports on the other side.
Okay. Uh-oh, he used the boost too early. No! That's a terrible move. And now he has to survive somehow. Yeah, the boost is good when nothing's blocking your way. We all learn our lessons.
Well, let's see now. I mean, good driving would be great driving if you can get away out of any obstacle despite of the boost. But Evo's Divine, though, moving away from the obstacle that they almost has been taken out earlier, and now they are getting for elimination. Council Hall, edge of the circle. They might be able to move in, but they will need to wait where the next phase would be. But it's a safe spot for them. They got a lot of loot to work with. Twisted Mind, though, 6th elimination, taking lead. And this is a team that I'm really loving that they're bringing their aggression back. Because first time we saw them, they get for elimination, not really caring about placement, but they're still getting that booyah. Once they work on the placement, it seems like they are being slowed down. It's not just it's just not their play style. Thus they're being nerfed for a bit.
And let's see if some of these teams can show us that aggressive play style that we love watching in action. Twisted Minds out in command post. They will not be disturbed as they look for some stronger loot. Onyx Olympus, on the other hand, with an opportunity here. And they are definitely not going to look for problems because Zyra's all alone. But this is going to be a big fight between Onyx and EVOS. I don't think they can avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Hill is already there, left alone. There goes A124. Real battle. Disables their skills. Demon almost died and knocked down, but Aim God has been taken down by Crime. Coach Hill, though, has a great view as to where they have, especially with the damage Onyx Olympus has received, as well as that mark from that Moko. But those nades, those rolls didn't land exactly where he intended.
Rasia's just shooting at them from afar. Demons and Onyx at him. Needing to recover just a tad bit. Coach Hill with a max 7. Will be ice grenaded. And forced to back away for the time being. Valiant dash. One big mistake. Into a tree, I think. He just bounced right back.
Valiant effort with a valiant dash, though. But full squad for Evo's Divine. Still advantage in position against Onyx Olympus. Ray needs not to move right now as they wait for the rest of the squad to prep for this engagement. It doesn't hurt, though, and especially if they have the team boost on them with outside of the blue, and that is up to Ray as well. Here comes the rest squad of Onyx Olympus. Adam tagged, half of the HP spent, and Nade might end him. There goes the Ghoul Melter. Let's see if he will use that vehicle to get away, and there goes the Cryo Mine. Even trying to damage that much, but the response from Evos is quite best.
I mean, look at this distraction play by Ray, just waiting for backup to arrive. And obviously, Rasia doing a lot of damage from afar as they approach, little by little. And now Ray just going crazy with a beefed up Car 98 with that enhanced hammer. He's just knocking on the heads of Onyx.
I mean, they knocked the heads, they took them down, but Onyx Olympus is still alive and kicking on the other side. It's Cyru, the sniper squad, dealing with SE right now, Shadow Esports, and a confirmation has been dealt. Now, Shadow Esports, instead of engaging, they're pulling away. They don't know it's a solo player that is in there, and they will need to move fast for that revive. So there's blue closing in, next phase already showing up in a few seconds, and a player, an opponent, that they don't have any idea where it's at. So Shadow Esports might be staying in the shadow for a little bit more.
And again, EVOS Divine, they have already earned themselves an invite to the Esports World Cup this year because they were the champions from last year. And we have 8 slots available through this competition for the Esports World Cup. If EVOS Divine is part of the top 8, then we will send 9 teams to the Esports World Cup from this competition. That sounds fun.
I mean, it sounds fun. It did happen. Because Team Falcons was the champions from 2024, and we got to see 9 in there. So I'm really looking forward to how well these players, these teams are going to show up right now. Not only in EWC, but also in preparation that coming from this season. Because the meta has changed. The year, it's a new year right now. And there's a lot of things that we don't see often compared to the past. And it's just those adjustments that might be taking a toll against their opponents right now. Let's see if this is something that they can win out as AG Global is being gunned down, or gunning down RRQ, and it's only left the dudes.
Ma'al spotted out. Double Riptide Rhythm by Dew. And he does manage to take one shot up against him, but Ma'al's still alive and kicking. Dudes is going to get overwhelmed. Oh, but the backup! Ma'al with one shot and Dudes with a finisher off that SVD, but he's got a sliver of health left on him. One guy with the electrotherapy running at him in the name of Baros with a Trogon. Eliminates him from the equation, leaving Ma'al all alone with 400 coins. This man is practically broke. And he doesn't have a vending machine, Nep.
Yeah, doesn't have a vending machine, but does have a launch pad to work with as well as a Moor. So Getaway might be working for him, especially as AG is not chasing them. But back to the same scenario that we have earlier. A lot of teams in one specific combat or one specific area. And I won't be surprised if it happens again, because we've seen how great survivability each team has, especially if they have a vending machine on them. But right now, I don't think we have a vending machine in this specific area. And this is something that might throw off some of the teams right now who's trying to survive.
The command post, there should be one right behind. EVOS, the closest one to it, I think. P Esports, on the other hand, obviously can make a good fight for it. Dude! Just shooting players out of the sky. And Twisted Minds picking up a couple of extra points here for themselves. As we all gather at command post, waiting for the sign on the next zone. Shadow Esports up against AG Global is an appointment that Shadow wants to avoid, and the jump pad helps them do that.
Yeah, let's see though. Will they be helped? They are being targeted, and one would be taken down. I'm guessing the rest of the squad would be taken down as well, as Twisted Mind is on point. So they go down in 9th place. 8 team remaining now. And we're still in the 4th phase, going to 5th in 20 seconds.
Man, this is rough. Shadow Esports thought they got away from the Giants AG Global, but just got stuck with another Thai squad in Twisted Minds. And RRQ finding the final player of Anyone Can Dream as well. Anyone can dream, except them at this point.
I mean, anyone can dream. It's waking up. That is a problem, though. If they get eliminated, there's no waking up on Dream. It turns to a nightmare. So let's see if that would be something that they can change later on. Dreams are free, to be honest. It's more of how they execute all those dreams to come true. But AG Global is making it true right now, especially with Onyx Olympus in front of them. They might be able to take advantage of position with Cypher and Hood Gun. But Glue Wall, risky play, standing out of open, but he knows backup is there.
Yeah, AG Global calling the Lightning Zone with the Bolt Maker, going for the hunt onto Onyx. Twisted Minds putting an end to RRQ. And with the Lightning Zone, AG Global making this one look like a walk in the park. 3 players on the side of Onyx, down on the ground, snuffed out, and out in 6. AG, ruthless.
Ruthless indeed. And who's leading fray in terms of elimination is Baros. Doesn't have to wait for Cypher anymore to be aggressive. But Baros, with only a few HP, let's see if they can recover. Heal UAV to help him up, and I guess this is a good chance. Thrown a little bit of blue wall melter, but it doesn't hurt that much as Twisted Mind is going for the rush. Nameless right now is lifeless, and Baros will be taken out. It's left to Cypher. When we thought we have high hopes out of this team, it's Twisted Mind who's breaking their minds.
AG Global did it to Onyx, and now Twisted Minds do it to AG Global. The bolt maker, the difference maker in that situation. If AG Global did not have to deal with the Lightning Zone, I think they could have gotten into position and Duke could have done some real damage to the rotating squad of, or to the flanking squad of Twisted Minds. I have to say. But that just wasn't the possible move there for the squad of AG Global. They had to hide away until the lightning zone tapers down.
Yep.
And that gave Twisted Minds the opportunity to close the gap and to get into position to shut them down one after the other. And now Twisted Minds leading this lobby with the most number of eliminations and points.
14 elimination from Twisted Mind, but there's still some contenders that might take the Booyah away from them. Avita XKDC, though silent, they're still part of this group. Same goes with PE Sports, but high ground overall, as well as utilities and all the loot that they have out of the boxes of those eliminated opponents. Twisted Minds taking advantage of that, but position-wise, they're also taking the lead in terms of next phase of the circle, and Avita XKDC would be gatekept. Let's see if this is something that they can pull through, but they're taking the wrong angle.
Yeah.
The Baz is looking in the right where everyone's on the left.
Yeah, X-Posse, what a flick that was with the AWM. Looking for Tawan. Tawan now barricading himself. Valiant dashing through the glue wall, but is met by a shot. Pablo with a sliver of health cannot get away. And Avita XKDC is left with no survivors. Now this puts PE Esports and Twisted Minds in a final battle for the Booyah.
LFCP LBT right now on rooftop, taking sides of where the opponents are. The bin moving away as the Baz tries to push through. Time Turner and there save him for a little bit more time. Lauho doesn't save, and Lamin is the ones being chased. Only 2 remains for PE Sports, and Twisted Mind is twisting them to knots.
Absolutely, and now Nero managing to sort the player out, but jump powered up by the electrotherapy. The Baz couldn't even get there for a shot. Jump, took that jump shot, and guaranteeing Twisted Minds a decent climb up the leaderboard. They pick up the Booyah here for themselves. A brilliant play after consistent games at Nextera and Purgatory. This is going to help Twisted Minds launch themselves up the leaderboard for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm really loving that the performance coming from Twisted Mind is on point, especially elimination, and this Booyah would help because they work in increasing the odds of them getting points from elimination, but survivability is not we often see from this team. But as you can see, Twisted Mind making a name for themselves, probably waiting to grab that 250 for the day as well.
I swear I will not know what to say if in the next game, Twisted Minds gets taken out in the 12th spot. The Booyah curse has been going on strong today, Neptune. You know exactly how it is here in the competition. The teams haven't been able to get away from it. Earlier, we saw exactly that befall 2 teams, Avita XKDC as well as Falcons. Falcons only walked away with 2 points in this lobby this time around after they got taken out. I mean, in the previous game, they walked away with a solid 12 elimination Booyah. But Twisted Minds, right, again, very consistent in all 3 games. 18 points in Nextera, and then Purgatory, I think they got more than 12 points, and now they hit a massive game. I think I saw more than 18, 19 eliminations around their side, plus the Booyah. This should put them in the 30-pointer range to climb up the leaderboard, if anything, achieve that #1 spot in terms of today's performance.
And with that alone, I think they will be able to overtake, if not take the top 3. By the for today's best team. So I'm really looking forward to how Twisted Mind will continue this. If they can pull away from the curse, continue what they're doing in terms of elimination, we might be seeing the old Twisted Mind into this brand right now. And I'm really seeing that how they are right now is even better compared to when they first turned into Twisted Mind, if you know what I mean. So this aggression is their style, but they need to work on Booyahs, and this is a plan that they're pulling out to use it in the group stage to grab Booyah, find a final circle in terms of getting elimination along the way. Yeah,
the teams are definitely finding their rhythm, right? I think the electrotherapy is working wonders for the squad for sure. We saw that in use a couple of times. AG Global pretty much having the exact same playstyle, just not enough luck this time around. I think placement points wise, they did not expect to get taken out of the lobby so early. Eliminations wise, they were rocking the town before they got wiped, right? Again, they went to prey onto Onyx, and then they got wiped from the back. So, I mean, tit for tat, whoever who gets it, gets it. But the way Twisted Minds took AG Global out was the exact same way AG preyed onto Onyx. The Bolt Maker, expensive, but very, very useful when you're going in for the attack.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that they really need to work on. If you can use the Bolt Maker in the perfect timing, you can throw off the guard of your opponents. And that's what we've seen twice already in this game. And even when it was introduced, like in this game, in Free Fire right now. So there's just a lot of things that need to be done for you to be able to survive those onslaught. One is to utilize skills, passive skills, active skills, to heal your teammates, to get away from harm. And I guess it's most of finding the compounds as well, where you have a little bit of cover. Not to get aggressive if it's active, but the timing needs to be precise.
Yeah, the timing definitely needs to be precise in situations where you need to figure out exactly what your move is going to be, right? I think we spotted out Cypher earlier on with the Valiant dashes. I think he played it very well. The only problem is they were fresh off of a fight up against Onyx Olympus. By the time Twisted Mind stabbed them in the back, most of their active skills were still on cooldown. There's just really nothing much that they could do in that situation except try to react. But of course, unfortunate for them, Twisted Minds with the Bolt Maker, Lightning Zone, putting the pressure on them, the timing of their active skills, it was a easy turnaround for Twisted Minds to flank around, get those points, and then of course waltz on into that final circle for the Booyah. The Bass gets the number 1 elimination spot, followed by LBT, who has the equal numbers, a total of 7 for the both of them. Baros with the 6 eliminations in this lobby. Twisted Minds throws their own player in here with Jump for a total of 5. Cypher getting the second highlight for AG Global with the 4. So I guess based on this alone, we can assume that AG Global would have gotten the most number of eliminations in the lobby. We'll have to wait and see. But again, going back to the lineup, the electrotherapy and the electrotherapy and the Valiant Dash through the Cassie and the Oscar, I think it have been the biggest difference maker for the squad so far. The Morse hasn't really been doing its work, but maybe I'll be proven wrong when we see the numbers in a little bit, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, the Morse is good for getting in position as well as trying to get away from the opponents. But speaking of numbers, I guess it doesn't work that well, but the damage is suffice to be given to Exposé, and we've seen how well Exposé was positioning right there. If you want to get on top of any compound, especially in that specific map, you can use that Morse not to be spotted. And once you're in a specific spot wherein you have a little bit of cover, disable it, snipes your opponent, give the signal for the rest of the squad, and that gives an opening for your frontliners as well, which we've seen has a lot of points. And 31 Bomber with a 19 elimination from Twisted Mind. They take a lead in this game.
Yeah, I thought a 30 Bomber. They went for a 31 Bomber. I will take it. All Gamers Global right behind them with a total of 31. Esports doing fine in this game with a total of 18 points, followed by EBOS Divine. But towards the bottom, you see Falcons getting taken out way too early here after their Booyah. Team Flash kind of down and out and a little bit too early. RRQ meeting a early end as well. It's unfortunate that they couldn't really farm, but a little up and down RRQ is seeming in this season.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hiccups that they've met from previous season, and this tournament though, they're still trying to adapt to how the other teams are. And take note that we have new teams being introduced here that, despite of not being part of the top dog list, they are still disrupting their rhythm for the moment. But as we look at today's standings, Twisted Mind, AG Global tied right here. And what's taken the lead is the Booyah that Twisted Mind has gotten.
Absolutely, man. And of course, with the 63 points tied at the very top, it still shows that the Thai teams are dominant. RRQ, like you said earlier, snuck in between the Thai teams and have chosen to stay there. But I'm surprised because they barely pulled away any points. They're lucky that Falcons got taken out too early in this game. With XKDC not really picking up too much as well. But now PE Esports has a decent chance of leapfrogging over even RRQ with this next matchup if they can figure out exactly how they want to maneuver around all of this chaos, right? Because PE Esports hasn't been able to find that big pointer game for themselves just yet.
Yeah, let's see if they can get the big pointer games. So far, I'm really loving that there's different teams who's really showing up right now in this competition. And it's not the usual from what we've seen yesterday. A lot of teams has been catching up, but in terms of what they've done, especially with the number of matches they have, a few will take a lead. But if we get averages of those matches, we can see rises of those teams, especially for those in Group C. And I'm loving the storyline right now. I'm really looking forward to them completing a full set before we judge on who is doing quite well in this specific week.
Yeah, and of course, at the end of the day, remember for phase 1, which is our group stage, over the 2 weeks of play, we will not be eliminating any teams whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
This is just for them to go in and really try out whatever they want to test out on the most recent OB53 update. So as they solidify exactly how they're going to be playing with their lineup of active passive skills in a lobby which is vicious, they then get to play in phase 2, which is our knockout stage, where we will have the early qualifiers into Point Rush. So, and even then, even at that stage, you're not getting eliminated from the competition. Only on the final stretch, we saw in week 4, we will get rid of the bottom 6 teams. So a lot of opportunities to fail here, Neptune. So we don't mind that too much. But of course, the teams that flex it, I can't wait to see more of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to that, on how well they can play it, and the variation of how they get booyahs, they get elimination, and go for an engagement. So I'm really looking forward to those kind of situation. But I do agree, there's not really a lot of a risk, especially in the first 2 weeks of play. If you can go like for the final for all the 3 weeks of the knockout stage, we are looking forward to you to take that. But right now, that's 3 matches already done, and I guess this is a time for us to go in for an interview before we go for a quick break. So let's bring it over to our host right now for the interview, and we'll see you in a bit.
Hey, what's up, y'all? And now we are with the team that bought the first booyah in the first game, Avida X KDC เอาล่ะค่ะทุกคนตอนนี้อยู่กับทีมที่นำบูย่ามาสำเร็จในเกมแรกนะคะ Avida X KDC Can you briefly introduce yourself ช่วยแนะนำตัวสั้นๆหน่อยได้ไหมคะ
ก็สวัสดีครับผม AVD ลองกองครับผม
Yesterday you guys got the second place but today you got the booyah from the first game How did you guys prepare for thisเมื่อวานเนี่ยได้ที่2แต่วันนี้มาได้ที่1ในเกมแรกเลยไม่ทราบว่าเตรียมตัวกันยังไงบ้างคะ
ก็ไปนอนดู RQ ต้นเกมครับแล้วก็แก้เกมครับแล้วก็ที่ได้บูย่ามาก็รู้สึกดีครับแล้วก็เป็นบูย่าที่เราถนัดที่สุดครับเป็นท้ายวงครับ
ไม่ธรรมดาเลยนะคะ So the last night they keep watching how RRQ playing and they learn about the skill and today they feel really happy that they got the first booyah And today you guys keep land on the same area as RRQ again. What do you want to tell to them? วันนี้เนี่ยลงทับ RRQ อีกแล้วอะอยากจะบอกอะไร RRQ หรือเปล่าคะ
ก็ฝากบอกว่าก็พวกผมเป็นทีมน้องใหม่ครับก็วันนี้อาจจะแพ้แต่วันหน้าอาจจะสูสีครับผมเดี๋ยวเราต้องเจอกันอีกยาวครับ
RRQ, we might be a rookie. Today we might lose, but in the future we might win. So keep coming at us.Okay ค่ะ I really want to know about this. Why you name yourself in the game Long Kong, which is a fruit in Thailand? อยากทราบค่ะว่าทำไมถึงตั้งชื่อเกมว่าลองกอง
ก็ไม่มีอะไรมากครับก็ที่บ้านชอบกินลองกองครับแต่ว่าตอนเด็กผมไม่รู้จักครับผมก็เห็นอร่อยดีครับแล้วก็น่าผลไม้มันเลยมาตั้งครับ
Nothing much, but my family really like to eat the fruit langsat or longkong so much, and I find it cute, so I named myself Longkong. And last question, what do you want to tell to the fans that keep cheering on you? อยากจะบอกอะไรแฟนคลับที่คอยเชียร์มาตลอดไหมคะ
ก็ฝากเชียร์ต่อเนี่ยนะครับแล้วก็ขอบคุณมากๆครับที่เชียร์ผมครับน้องใหม่ก็ฝากเนื้อฝากตัวเลยครับ
Thank you for keep cheering for us. We are rookie. Keep be kind for us and cheering, looking forward for us. And let's get back to the break. We'll be right back for the 4th game. Bye bye. เจอกันเกม4นะคะพักกันสักครู่ค่ะ
それスノボじゃなくて人体だからそれにこれってケツでブレーキかけるやつだし吉原大炎上の次は異世界大炎上なんてシャレになりませんから
バカ、これくらい犠牲を払ってこそコラボに対しての俺たちの気合が伝わるってもんだろ。
金ちゃんの言う通りある。コラボのためなら尻の一つや二つ差し出して当然ね。
ゲームは終わりだ。皆さん、それって銃？逃げるぞカグラ。開発チームから聞かされてねえよ。
しつこい男は嫌いやろ。
ストロング最高です。アームストロング、なんでこんなとこにまで。話でやってくんねえか、サダール。そいつは新橋じゃねえんだ。僕なら噛まれてもいいってことですか。ケリーさん、本当にごめんなさい。さて、行き先は？ってもしかして僕またメガネだけになってない？
See you next time, survivors!
Ate said the moon and the sun aren't rivals. I still believe in that.
俺たちの気合が伝わるってもんだろ。
金ちゃんの言う通りある。コラボのためなら尻の一つや二つ差し出して当然ね。
ゲームは終わりだ。皆さん、それって銃？ 話してやってくんねえかサダールそいつは新八じゃねえんだ僕なら噛まれてもいいってことですかケリーさん本当にごめんなさいさて行き先はってもしかして僕またメガネだけになってない
Welcome back, survivors. This is the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia 2026 Spring, and this is the group stage day 2 with your boys Mustachio as well as Neptune, the gentleman Garcia. We are your casters for the day. It has been fairly exciting. The teams out of Thailand are dominating as usual with a little anomaly called RRQ. But we just haven't seen a consistent blasting run by any of the squads just yet. And I think I love that, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, let's see though if the curse will be broken and Twisted Minds would be the ones who will be blasting all throughout this day. Because so far, it was phenomenal before the Booyah, or even up until that Booyah moment. But if the curse continues to rock these Booyah board teams, then I guess that roll would not be rolling that much or that far.
Well, we will have to see, right? Because two teams have fallen victim to the Booyah curse already, and it hasn't been a fun run for them. Both Avida XKDC as well as Falcons, right after getting their Booyah, they got knocked out very early in the following lobby. If the same hits Twisted Minds, well, we'll all have a good laugh, but I don't think it means anything much to them. Because in every game, you're going to have some winners, some losers. These teams are still, I don't think, going all out just yet. You saw Buriram's play yesterday. They were not looking for eliminations, man. 5 games, they were just messing around, running away from a lot of these squads. Once in a while, having one delinquent within the squad who would still go for the elimination. But in the final game, that's where they broke all records. And up till today, nobody has broken Buriram's record from that game number 6 yesterday. They got a total of 37 points, Neptune. And after messing around the whole day, it's crazy how they hit that.
Yeah, I mean, let's see though if that's something that they can do once again, or any other teams will be able to do, because Twisted Mind is quite close in that achievement. But speaking of achievement, we have the game schedule as well as the ones taking the Booyah board right here. The next map would be in Solara. So we're still looking forward to a team that would take that King of Solara spot or that throne. But we've seen so far it is out of this groupings of B and C, no one has grabbed the Booyah just yet. But Avida XKDC is looking quite well in taking that #1 spot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, Avida XKDC obviously looking for the top spot. But the question is, can they manage to sneak in there and dominate it? Because, a little bit of a up and down performance. Like I said, after the Booyah, they got knocked out of the lobby a little bit too early, I have to say. And, in the very following match, I didn't really see a big jump coming through from the squad. They got decent placement points, but only 4 eliminations in the Kalahari matchup, Neptune. So only 12 points in total. But if that's an indication that they're going to be making it big in the Solara match, well, I am not going to be walking away from that with a frown on my face. Yesterday, Avida XKDC managed to secure 21 points on Solara. So if the map is definitely one that they're comfortable on, they should be able to hit that again as we kick this map off.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Avida taking a Booyah, so I can say leaving Avida Booyah. But right now, as we jump in to Solar right now. Windmill is being occupied by Team Flash and Shadow Esports stepping into the fray a little bit too late though, but will they be able to make the cut? Because Flash and Shadow doesn't mix that well.
Yeah, okay, all right, chat. Now we are checking out the YouTube chat here. We want you to tell us in just one word, okay? Just drop the name of the team that you are in support of. Who do you think is going to get the booyah in this lobby right here, right now? Drop it in the chat, and if your team is the first one to get taken out, we'll just laugh at you. Twisted Minds going up against Flash. It's a 4v4. The Zong surviving with the mini Uzi. The Bass, though, with the Mac 10 will be able to blast ABCD to Kingdom Come. Exposy sorted out. The three-way battle about to become the four-way battle. And here comes Shadow Esports, RRQ. What is going on at Windmill?
Well, I guess Shadow Esports, I was doubting their move of getting into Windmill a little bit too late, but they're taking advantage of that, getting a lot of elimination because of a knockdown that happened between Twisted Mind and Team Flash. But they need to deal with the boss right now. This might be it. The curse might continue. If he gets taken out, he heals with a Super Med, but will he have the space to do so, to pull away? And then there goes the slide rails to save him, but for how long?
Dude, the curse is real. And the Bass was lucky to get to a vending machine in time before Rin caught up with a mini Uzi in hand. The VSS in the hands of the Bass. And it looks like Rin is not going to get the best of him just yet. The Bass doing well. Twisted Minds almost fell victim to the Booyah curse there.
Oh yeah, almost for the Booyah curse. Now let's see though. Battle between AG Global and Onyx Olympus. There goes the shot. Adam, I don't think he'll be able to make that jump, but Cypher's going for the chase. Zyro left delayed, but there goes Zyro with an MP40, and Barros will be left alone. Nameless is trying to fire back in there, just make sure that they will not be going down that easily. Zyro though, deadly SMG in hand, up close and personal, but recovery is being done by AG Global. This is a chance for Zyru to get away. Barros goes in for the hunt with a vehicle, triggered at A124, making sure that Barros will not be using any skills, and he goes for the takedown.
Yeah, I mean, beautifully played here by Zyro. And Onyx Olympus on that recovery mode as well. They've got the vending machine at Casa Vista. They've got their players all alive and kicking, looking for more. But even though we've seen many bodies hit the floor already so early in this game, still have got 12 squads alive and kicking, still focusing on those revives.
Let's see if they can go for a revive. Only a few players remaining for our squad, for lobby to be filled once again. Now, as we look into some of the areas of the map right now, RQ quite silent, but they did deal with a few of those engagements earlier, almost being taken down. But speaking taken down, AG Global Nameless eliminated. Twisted Mind, recovery is still on point, and they might be able to get away from course. But there's only one surviving player that's trying to make that work, and if that continues to wire the final end, they need to be quiet and get that final circle for the Booyah.
Yeah, absolutely, and everybody's on that road to recovery except Twisted Minds, bro. Come on, man, this Booyah curse is weighing heavy on their shoulders. Now RQ looking to punish the player on the side of Flash, the god. The god. Okay, no arguments there. The god! Even gods can bleed, I guess.
One thing I would say is that oh my god, God. Oh, anyone can dream. Let's see if that dream will turn into a nightmare right now, because RRQ would want them to sleep. And sleep they're doing as Ma'al takes shots of them with a VSK. Noki will be going in a low-key getaway mission, as traps right now would be spread out. The rest of ACD is not in a good position to fight against RRQ.
Let's go, man. RRQ is racking up those numbers little by little. It's inching their way in all, but this is a big fight about to break out. RRQ, one mistake on this rotation, and they are going to pay a heavy price. Falcons will definitely bring the heat. Vidax KDC up against PE Esports. Oh, the Vietnamese squad better find a way to overwhelm the Thai squad, because I've been waiting for them to perform the whole day now already. I'm kind of getting tired, Neptune.
Tired of waiting. Well, let's see though. I mean, they're playing with your patience, but Rasya from behind, from downtown, goes in with the AW shot, and the Vita XKDC is left in awe. There goes the Riptide Rhythm, Tawan being hit, and Rasya is still in the chase.
Oh,
and
yeah, boy.
there goes another takedown coming from the Wonder Kid.
And PE's, thank you, Esports Divine. I mean, of course, I love Avita XKDC as well, but they were hunting down the team that I predicted to perform well. We can't have that. Evo showing up like the god, not the one out of flash, to wipe them out. At least put a stop to their aggression. And Evo's Divine picking up a easy tour off of the squad. Falcons up against RRQ. Ramsey, the youngest player on the RRQ team, could not youngest in terms of age or in terms of tenureship, will be brought right back in along with the other two fallen brothers by Ma'al, the sniper of the team, who seemed rich enough to buy back the whole squad yet again if they go down.
Well, let's see. I mean, richness is something that they can really need right now, especially with how engagement has been turning up. But Team Flash, well, they will need to turn that Mink into blue as the god on the other side takes down Diamond. Now, Baz tries to recover, tries to pull everything, all the resources that they have to prepare for the next battle as Mink throws a nade at them, or an ice grenade, but it's a 2v1 situation, and the Baz is not giving them any chance to recover.
Yeah, I mean, the Bass and squad, Twisted Minds, finally on those revivals. Got a vending machine, and the Bass has got enough money for another revive, but these boys aren't letting him.
Whoop!
And Flash, the distraction, and the guard. The shot from the back, and the Bass down on the ground. The pickup is instantaneous. ABCD put down once again, and the recovery of the Twisted Mind looking absolutely sweet. The Zom dropping by to make sure Jump doesn't get picked right back up. The Bass right up on top. Exposy joins in this fight as well. The backstab of the Valley Dash inside the time. The Bass is still alive and kicking. Drops Ming. ABCD down. Backed up by Exposy. This is Twisted Minds at their best.
Twisted arts, I would say, with Exposy in there as well as the Baz. I thought that was a mistake, and heading into the glue wall and then jumping into the opponent. I thought that was a getaway, but no, it was planned all along. All the glue walls has been taken down on the ground, and the timing was precise to go for that elimination. But let's see though, that's something that they can be that Shadow can pull off against Team Falcons right now, because this is not a team that you want to deal with early into this fight, and they might get eliminated right now as Team Falcons is taking the lead in terms of elimination.
What a play earlier by Twisted Minds. Can we see the same out of Falcons this time around? Shadow Esports haven't really shown up big time just yet. And Evo's Divine is eating up the Magna Esports players, shutting them down, getting them out of the lobby in 12. The ice grenade responded by a frag grenade. Look at Kuroda just walking in the middle of the split blitz. Not worrying about the damn... Okay, all right, get out of there, Kuroda. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I mean, not afraid of the splits from the opponent, but afraid from his own grenade. Team Falcons trying to break through the barricade of Shadow Esports right now. But earlier I did mention about Magna Esports being eliminated by Evo's Divine. That's what happens when tigers meet kittens in this Southeast Asian region.
Well, SE is standing for Southeast right now as they are flushing out the Falcon players one after the other. But Limit had the vending machine as well as enough coins for a double revival here. Gets flanked by Yuan from Shadow Esports, and Falcons from Predator. They became prey instantaneously there.
I mean, there's no praying for Shadow Esports. We've seen how well they barricaded themselves, worked with the timing and the patience of Team Falcons. The moment that they split up, then that's where they get all those elimination. But Team Falcons is not out of the woods just yet. It's anyone can dream who might take them down. It's a good thing that they split up as well with Pina and On Fire in the side of Funfair. So no one's taking over of that situation, of that area. But they need to save up a lot of points. They need to save this teammate who's
7 eliminations!
ACD.
And 2 of them downed and out of the equation already. Anyone can dream picking it up. And Falcons once again being pushed into a situation where they have to recover.
Whoop! Divine putting pressure. A backstab in there. Not expecting Ray to drop from the skies. On the other side, Onyx Olympus, another part of the animal kingdom. The hedgehogs just rolling and trying to protect themselves against AG Global, specifically just Nameless and Sypha, who's definitely a threat against this team.
Absolutely. Onyx Olympus on that high ground. Sypha with the electrotherapy. Grenade just bouncing off those blue walls, not doing any damage just yet. Cannot find the access onto the Onyx players just yet. He was divided on the other hand, meeting player after player on the side of Twisted Minds who are getting those knocks. AG Global from outside, they could not make the entry with those grenades. And therefore, they're going to try to break down those blue walls and try to get the access for themselves. Crime down. The pickup instantaneous. The shots coming from afar, not from AG Global.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of noise that's being made right now. Esports really has taken advantage. That window would be deadly. Thus, Onyx Olympus moving in on the other side. Zyru, though, if he jumps out of that window and gets that lower ground against AG Global, that grenade, that M79 would be deadly. Valiant dash, though, just to get away. But on the other side, it's Evo's Divine who gets eliminated on 11.
Yeah, I mean, Evo's Divine out already, the champions of the Esports World Cup 2025. They haven't really found their rhythm just yet. But Onyx Olympus doing well, though, with Zyru with the M79, taking himself out. All right, I spoke too soon.
And I thought he would be the savior of the team. Sypha, though, needs a little bit of saving. It's a 1v1 situation right now, but Esports, I don't think they should be sitting this one out. They can take advantage of that situation. But Twisted Mind! Diamond, the only one remaining, but Explosive has been picked up. Here comes Avida XKDC, and they might be able to beat them down. Lokong, Anusit, but up close and personal with Card 98. It seems like Diamond was in trouble, but recovery is quite fast.
Oh, damn, man. Diamond's too good with the M590. Just held his own in that situation, making sure he dropped those players. The pickup after pickup was coming on through, but the time turner, he bounced in and out of it with those pixel peeps, managing to ensure Avida XKDC runs away from them. And with the vending machine outside the circle, managing to pull off a revival as well. But Long Kong will pay for that with his life. And Twisted Minds move on in for the finisher. Anusit too far away with the Car 98 to do much in that situation. And now outside the circle will take heavy damage and potentially be gate kept by Twisted Minds in a bit.
And it's tough, though. I mean, no recovery, no pickup.
Nice.
Launchpad is available, though. So great reposition. I don't think there's any time to think it through, but he did end up in a good spot. RQ, though, would be jumping just next to him, and will he be able to keep himself alive? Because there's a lot of opponents who might be preying in this final player from the team as Twisted Mind being targeted by RQ. They get the middle of the circle, but they are not safe just yet.
Avida XKDC still has not been able to recover, but Twisted Mind has successfully broken the Booyah curse here on this day 2 of our group stage. But they are on the very edge, tethering, about to fall now because the position they hold on to really not the best at this point of time, and everybody has got a decent shot at them as they sit in the open grounds. RRQ up against Flash. God, it feels like I have gone back in time a little bit. This was the good old days of the MCP majors when I used to see this.
Well, let's see now. Let's see. This might be it for Twisted Mind. Stuck in one corner and no way to go out. Twisted Mind, though, has done enough to put themselves afloat with 14 elimination as well as a decent amount of placement point. But who's taking the lead right now? We're looking at 3 teams with a full squad. Onyx Olympus in the brink of being eliminated outside the zone. The same goes with AG Global. So that we can consider those teams to be taken out unless a miracle does happen.
Yeah, man, and now we slow the pace down just a tad bit here. RRQ, high ground advantage. Looking for AG Global, who are trying to sneak in from the outside zone. Falcons alive and kicking right behind them. Esports still alive. Maybe they'll sneak away the Booyah. Speaking of them, they take Sypha out of the equation. And AG Global down and out in 6th.
Let's see. Onyx Olympus eliminated. As we look into the fight, Team Flash, Mink right now will be turned down. ABCD, the same happens. The Zom as well as the God trying to cover into the middle, but here comes Esports knocking on their doors. They take the stairs, take the second floor, keep themselves safe for the moment as battle continues between Esports and RQ, the ones winning this fight.
Just chaos on the free cam. Not the best way. I like to follow some action, but at least we get the wide angle view with everybody in our spot here. The God and Zom avoiding all engagements and up the top. On the second floor, Esports. On the ground floor, on the other hand, just wiping out player after player. Falcons alive and kicking, and they will have the advantage to move once the circle starts inching away from Flash and PE.
Let's see if they can inch away. Right here, Team Falcons will just be waiting. They will be the predator in the bushes right now, waiting for any unsuspecting team. But the battle does continue, or might continue, as Vietnam might be coming into a civil war. Unless the God and the Zom would be able to pull a surprise. Here comes a launch pad for them so they can save themselves, getting the attention of Team Falcons that can save PE Sports for retaliation.
Well, I cannot believe PE Sports just pulled up 4 glue walls inside that Riptide Rhythm, just desperately trying to survive. And now with the jump pad sitting right behind Team Flash, and the recovery play from PE Sports as well as they pick each other up. But the Cryo Mine attack from the back, that is the players of Falcons forcing PE towards Flash. Narrow will gladly take that. Mag 7 knock onto the God. Zom's gonna get caught out as well. And PE wipes the floor with Flash, booking a final 4v4 against Falcons.
I'm loving it. PE Sports says to Team Flash, if you can do it, we can do it the same. We can do it even better, and we can beat you down. Now, let's see who will be beating down right now. Team Falcons on a higher ground. Pina receives a little bit of damage, but goes for Valiant Dash. Lays down the min, and no pickup will be done. LBT will be stuck in the glue wall. We'll try for recovery, but Team Falcons grabs a booyah this time around.
Yeah, Falcons picking up their second booyah of the day. Purgatory, they hit the 12 placement points, and now skipping past Kalahari because of the Booyah curse. They end a solid run on Solara. Good on Falcons, of course, looking to make the big climb up the leaderboard. I did predict that they would get that #1 spot. Was a little disheartened based on how they had started off the day, but now if they can keep this up, launching up to the #1 spot isn't going to be impossible. But of course, Twisted Minds off of the Booyah on Kalahari got to that final circle, Neptune, with a decent, okay, not final circle, but got deep enough with a decent number of eliminations this time round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to more of that. Team Falcons with a Booyah, and it was done quite phenomenal. Wow, they put so much pressure on PE Sports and Team Flash. It's just unfortunate that they didn't follow the trajectory of Team Flash quite easily, so they could have taken those 2 points away from PE Sports. But the final result is what we're looking for, and Team Falcons right there just brought a Booyah to their name, and they're inching closer to getting the top team of the day title to get that extra 250 USD.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I am very sure they are going to be running amok out there on the battlefield because Falcons, as usual, right, a very decent team when it comes to picking up those big elimination points. I was just a little surprised with how they handled that final circle. PE Sports doing great as well. I think it was a big step up from them. But if you look at the lineup of skills from the side of Falcons, still Limit X7 with the Skylar. And I think it has been making a huge difference out there, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm really loving that they haven't gotten away from the meta, or that current meta, or the previous meta, I would say, and they're taking advantage of that. When everyone has left it out already, they're just using it because they know exactly how it works. It might have been nerfed, and the glue walls might have been buffed a little bit more strength, especially of the team booster, but it's the timing that they need to work out for them to really take those shots quite well in those engagements. So I'm really loving that Limit X7 is still showing it that he deserves to be the title to be one of the best snipers in Southeast Asia.
And it's not like they're only running the Skylar without the Narrow. They also have the Narrow in combination. And I think maybe if Limit X7 and Kororo could use it in combination in certain circumstances, that would be fairly deadly. But we have not seen that so far. I think in the final bout, we saw the Riptide Rhythm going towards the PE Sports players, but PE Sports still within the circumference of the Riptide Rhythm pulled up about 3 or 4 glue walls, still managed to use the jump pad and pull the escape. And that instance right there shows you the weakness of the Riptide Rhythm. It's not instantaneous in terms of taking out all of those glue walls. Your opponent still can survive. You need to perhaps play a little bit of a disruptive play by shooting at those glue walls at the same time the Riptide Rhythm goes out there. It's a lot to do, but Limit X7 seems to be onto something here, because in certain circumstances it definitely has worked out well for the squad.
Yeah, I mean, if you have great frontliners who can survive despite of all the chaos, you can even prompt them to use those glue wall melters and make sure that it is weakened before you activate that Riptide Rhythm. But let's head over to the highlights right now. Take a recap of what happened in this game so that we can be refreshed on how well each team is. But let's take a look as well and congratulate Pina as being the match MVP with 6 elimination, 3,238 on damage, and is using that AC 80.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And Pina is the newest player on the side of Falcons, but he's almost reaching his first year anniversary of joining the Falcon squad. Everybody else definitely a veteran in terms of how long they've been together with this team. So Falcons is officially becoming a full-on matured squad when it comes through to the chemistry, and I think this is going to fare them fairly well later on when we move on into the Esports World Cup. Top 5 eliminations, on the other hand, has a heavy domination off of the Thai players. You see Twisted Mind sending in 2 players with 6 eliminations, the Bass and Diamond making the team proud for sure.
Yeah, definitely, they are proud. But as we look into the skills right now, again, as AJ mentioned earlier, that the Riptide Rhythm, and I guess the combination of the Valiant Dash as well as the Cryo Mine does
Holy
help.
Lord.
It's more of glue wall breakers. This
man.
trio, and then it's just with the addition of that time turner, and with On Fire on that, he's quite quick on his feet, and with the time turner he can use that time as well to go for the pickup. He does have that Tiva, but still that Nikita all across the board for the frontliners helps them a little bit more in those CQCs.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about the pickup on that Oscar, right? Because this is a full-on glue wall demolition squad, literally with their active skills, just mainly aiming to take down the defenses of their opponents. And when your opponents are running low on the defense, obviously that gives you a very high, offensive capability, but you're also opting out from using active skills like the A124, the electrotherapy off of the Cassie. I think it's a very big risk to play, but this is what we have said the group stage is for you to go out there and experiment the best way possible. And even though Team Falcons are experimenting with this glue wall smashing sort of a lineup on active skills, they're still managing to walk away with a booyah and decent enough numbers. Not massive, but decent enough to climb the leaderboard consistently. Speaking of consistently, PE Sports again. Earlier on we saw them on the 18 points, now with the 21. I'm liking what I see.
Well, definitely loving how it's coming up right now, and I guess it's with your motivation as well, as they are part of your prediction. But I'm really hoping that there's a lot more that can be brought in by a lot of teams right here in this engagement. Team Flash is one of those who we thought that has been snuffed out a little bit too early, but we've seen even in final moment they can go for survivability. But as we look into the overall standings, so far AG and Avide still sticking to it. RQ is still in the third spot right now, but Team Flash following being followed by GOW, following RRQ right now, slowly moving up, making sure that they have a name for themselves before the week is over.
Yeah, and the worst one of the combination of squads that have are close to completing their 12 matches is Magna Esports with a total of 48 points in the 14th spot, far behind the teams that have completed 10 games along them as well. So this is going to be a tough run for Magna overall by the end of the competition, or at least at the end of the first 2 phases, if they don't buck up in some way. But every single competition needs to have those high fraggers and a couple of teams down at the bottom who are taking a beating. Magna happening to be one of those squads right now. And I don't know exactly what is up with the squad, right? Because if you look at it from a perspective of active-passive lineup, I think they've got the right mindset in terms of how they're coming into these matches. Just the mechanical skills are not lining up with some of these monsters of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also some of them, it's more of the timing. They're not doing timing quite well. They have the denial capability from the A124, especially from Winzy, and then it's also the Morse that they can pull away. But this is one of the team that is bringing in that Steffi into play, and we don't see. I mean, we don't see that Steffi being used quite well in those situations because they could have used other active skill for them to make it work, especially the aggressive front, not on the defensive side.
Yeah, I definitely did not see the Steffi being used out of Magna Esports as well. So good pick on that, Neptune, in terms of a highlight, right? Because yes, it does kind of beef up your defense just a little bit, but you know, they were just getting wiped, and the team wasn't really sticking together much for Steffi to be much of a impactful active skill to be having on their side. But we'll keep an eye on Magna Esports as we head on into this next battle. It's obviously going to be a slugfest because this game number 5 happens at Bermuda. One of the maps where we find a lot of eliminations usually.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of elimination because of the over-familiarity of the teams right here on each area of the map. So let's bring ourselves back to green grass of Free Fire, where it all began. So flight would be coming in from Riverside, heading into just across Clock Tower and near Rimnam Village. And RQ is one of those who, or Onyx Olympus rather, is one of those who take that area of Rimnam Village, and they might be met by RQ later on. But for the rest of the squad, especially for Avida XKDC, they're splitting up between Carton, and they might be meeting up. A few players might be meeting up with either Shadow or AG Global, who will be hanging next to Sentosa. For Eva's Divine, though, hot drop, and let's see if the gods can take down the Wonder Kid.
And obviously AG Global will not think twice to go after the Avida players since they are all spread out like butter. But Ray now with the mini Uzi going in for the search. ABCD shutting down Rasia. Ray with a sliver of health left on him, wondering if or not he should go up for the pickup on Rasia. He does manage to trade out ABCD, who was on the hunt. But Ming from up top brings him down to a sliver of health. And now Flash should be able to take Ray out of the equation.
Oh.
Rasia crawling, pick me up. No, sorry, help me, help me. But no help came through, and EVOS Divine looking divine indeed as they are sent up to heaven.
Oh yeah, they are sent to heaven with wings and halo surrounding them. And it's Team Flash. I guess when you saw the Flash, you didn't expect that heaven would be following you right there. But that's what's happening right now. And if I'm mistaken, this is the second time around that EVOS Divine has been taken out a little bit too early into this match, not really showing any prestige in getting the champion of EWC for the moment. But in terms of numbers and what they can recover, there's a lot that they need to do for them to catch up. Unlike Avida XKDC, who has already put a mark in this Southeast Asian region, especially when they got introduced yesterday.
Yeah, check this out. EVOS Divine, 7 points in the first game. 9 points. No, actually no. In the second game, they only got 2 points. What? In the third game, they improved and they got 15 points, and then they went back to a 7-pointer in Solara. Very bad performance of EVOS Divine. And now in Bermuda, they got eliminated way too early. They are the bottom 2 performing teams of the day. The team beside them is actually Magna Esports. How ridiculous is that? I mean, I think EVOS, just like Buriram, hasn't really been giving their all just yet. I don't think they can afford to mess around like Buriram, though.
Well, that would depend. I beg to differ, because if you remember in one of the seasons that we have in Southeast Asia, they have an opportunity to head straight into the grand finals or into the next stage, but they opted to just go for a long run. I don't know if it's part of the practice or whatnot. But for EVOS Divine, I don't think it does help, because that's like they didn't get the championship at that moment, but they did get a few spots to give them a little bit better on the prize pool.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And EVOS Divine definitely a much better squad in comparison to what they were in 2024. And remember, they were on the dream run for the Esports World Cup, because in 2024, they were the runner-up. They placed second, and then in 2025, they became the champions of the Esports World Cup. And after that, of course, not a great showing at the global finals, but it's all right, because every team has its strong time. And I think EVOS Divine is about to make that big climb up just in time for the Esports World Cup here in 2026. They've got enough of time here in the group stage in itself to play warm-up and figure out exactly what sort of a meta they want to be running as they head on into the finals. Long Kong sprayed down by one. The mini Uzi, man. With 4 minutes into the game, you got to get a better gun.
Definitely better gun and did, and I don't know, depending on where you are coming from as well as the timing. But we also saw a little bit of a substitution coming from Makna Esports, and hopefully that helps the team on to this matches. But for Avitex KDC, Long Kong will be long gone unless a revive will be done. But Shadow, just like Shadow Esports, just stay in the shadow or in the body of a Lucid right now, and that's how a Shadow is. But it's a good thing that Lucid is surviving with a quick movement as well as all the utilities being used, and it's barely surviving, but still, what's that? Chilsea will not be chilling in there, especially with a Winchester in hand.
Yeah, this is not the Avida XKDC that we witnessed playing yesterday. Definitely not the same team that started off today, because they were super aggressive, taking on any fights that came their way. But I guess when you kind of get knocked down to the ground a couple of times too many, you start thinking whether or not you want to be as aggressive in the early game. And Avida choosing to not play that aggression, because apart from that 28 bomber of a Booyah that they got on Nextera to open up this day, they have been absolutely horrible.
I don't know, horrible or just quiet? Because we've seen...
Obviously, I over-exaggerate. Horrible from a perspective of that massive Booyah. From the perspective of an average team, they're not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Avitex KDC go in for the battle, but it's more of the positioning that they're playing with. So
yeah.
I do agree that it's horrible in terms of comparison, especially against a Booyah, but we are seeing great lens being done. But Ma'al right now, no change out of this guy. He's still silent and definitely deadly on a snipe.
Uh-oh, how did Nero get behind him though? Was that the Mars in play? Mini Uzi whipped out by Ma'al. This is the desperate play. And he's going up against the M79. Nero, what are you doing? Get a gun! Powerful whipped out! Oh my lord, he took too long! I got a heart attack there!
Hey, that's one thing. I mean, Ma'al should not be rushed, and he cannot be moved. I mean, I'm not talking about, but it's more and more of the play style that he have. And that's one reason as well as the Ranze, the introduction of this player for the team with more mobility compared to Ma'al and the rest of the squad makes RRQ a better team.
Hey, you can say that again. Nero though, ooh, with the Winchester in the hands of a Bay. Level 3 Winchester that's been souped up by the Enhanced Hammer. You gotta know that hits like a truck. The M590 souped up as well with the Enhanced Hammer. And that's giving them a slight advantage, but nothing too massive as they allow the team of P Esports to rotate away. And even Twisted Minds is not going to be disrupted. RRQ choosing to play passive.
Yeah, I mean, RRQ is one of those teams that when put in a corner, they might fight back, but they don't want to fight that much, especially if the risk of being eliminated early in the 7th-minute mark. And there's 11 teams that we're working on right now. They know specifically that Bermuda is not one of their best maps. So they need to take it slow. They need to find that final circle. And if they meet teams like what we witnessed earlier, they can go for the fight.
Ma'al's little slip-up, I think Ma'al just panicked, man. He just did not expect Nero to show up from the back all of a sudden. He was just happily sniping away at LBT and their gang. All of a sudden, somebody shows up at the back, and all he had was a mini Uzi. Could have quick-scoped with the AWM, just wasn't as confident in that situation up close and personal. And Nero almost botted that with the M79. And finally took out the Parafal and did something worthy with it. But now the revenge play. But RRQ does not have that up against PE. They may be able to vent their anger out on their brothers from Indonesia, Onyx Olympus, as they show up.
Yeah, Onyx Olympus right now. Let's see if the pressure will be built against them. Zyru pulls away out of nade and into the blue wall. And also Demons right now. But there goes Valiant Dash. Ranze just mowing them down. And Demons will be the next target as the M59 against the Max 7. I would say the accuracy would need to be on point for Ranze to make that knockdown.
I would have to agree with you, Ranze. 590 against 2 players. Oh, wrong. Can't be backed up by the rest of the RRQ players as well. He gets sorted out and Abe backing away. But does he have enough time? Ooh, 180. Flicks it around. He manages to get away from the heat of battle as Anyone Can Dream joins the fight and tries to mess around with Onyx Olympus. They call for the lightning zone. And with the Bolt Maker puts on the extra bit of pressure. Ooh! Almost caught Demons there, but will be caught out instead. Traps knocked down, the Cryo Mine giving them the advantage for Alif to take the knock, and 2 points claimed off of Onyx Olympus. But now here comes the next contender, AG Global, looking for some points off of Anyone Can Dream.
Yeah, that's one thing now. I mean, Anyone Can Dream, we've seen a little bit of a slip up in there, and that's one thing that they need not to risk, especially against AG Global. But Lift right now trying to put pressure and trying to push away AG Global, but they got a better area. They got better covers right now, and will they be able to take it? Alif is down. Riptide Rhythm to help them take out Noki, but Noki is still alive, but Saifa connected to basic therapy is being stayed and remaining to be tough in this battle. Now, it's a battle between Noki against 2 players from AG Global, but a few of those contenders might be introduced in a bit, and ACD will be left with only Faiz, who's trying to get a few more of those, well, a lot of coins already with 3,100, but he needs to move fast in the betting machine.
Yeah, dude was solid with the snipes from afar. Backing up the plays on the side of AG Global, and now they challenge RRQ at Factory. There's a vending machine here that they need to bring Cypher back into the mix. RRQ, on the other hand, full squad. They can gatekeep the vending machine and find extra 3 points here off of the AG Global squad if they wanted to play dirty. It looks like dirty is the name of the game here as they nade them right back. AG Global is almost about to get wiped out here. Nameless looking for an opportunity to save his brother Baros. Abe spots him. And the M590 will get the job done with Dew all alone, but 1,400 in his pocket. He's going to buy back the whole town.
Yeah, let's see if they can buy back the whole town. And we still have 11 teams, though. And we're 11-minute mark and a few more phases to go. But Magna Esports against ACD, I guess this is something that they can use to their advantage right now. They're familiar with the play or gameplay as well as the movement of this team, but they need to move fast. On the other side, it is Team Falcons right now on high ground of Bima Sakti, and they might be able to spot out a Team Flash who's just hiding out. No movement is being done. No sound is being heard by Team Falcons. Thus, Pina doesn't give that much attention onto that side of the compound.
Yeah, Pina now flanking around. Shot from afar, probably by Team Flash. Wasn't expecting that. Whoop. Now meets Long Kong, flies right at him with the M590. And in that split second, managed to fire as well. Beautifully done. And Avida XKDC just scrambled on the battlefield. Not looking like a strong opportunity for a booyah here. Pablo now taken away from Avida as well. The may be possible if they can get to the vending machine, which is not too far away.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, there's only limited time as well they need to work with, but there's a lot of teams that they need to go through or go against. And Crime right now, well, not only is he dealing with HP being lost outside of blue, but also with Maal. But no! It doesn't help them. Maal has been eliminated because of the blue and didn't make it in time for that jump, and they get eliminated on 11, leaving the rest of the squad take over and getting close points.
Average performance off of RRQ this time around, and I tell you, this lobby is filled with survivors, man. Approaching the 13th minute, we still have 10 squads in here. We need to thin down the numbers. And you helping me do that by taking out one player off of the Anyone Can Dream squad, the AWM. How much does AG Global have on themselves, and who's going to continue climbing up the leaderboard? The last time we checked, Twisted Minds was dominating up top, followed by AG Global and Falcons. But obviously they need a few solid ones here. Be able to secure their spot. RRQ is not going to be chasing anymore on behalf of Indonesia, and now Magna Esports spotting out Shadow. two of the squads, and I have to say this could just be a 50-50 fight between them. With Magna gatekeeping Shadow Esports well. Winzy, one mistake and Rin punishes. He had the electrotherapy connected to him, so a great big advantage there for the Shadow player.
Oh, let's see now. I mean, this advantage they can go if they move quite fast enough. Rindo takes the lead and healing a gun or healing pistol being used for them to recover quite quickly. Magna Esports though goes in for the flank, getting close into the open right now. And there goes Jans. They being taken down by Chelsea. And there's right now the only one surviving. And I think this is it for Magna Esports. They will be taken down, but to what cost? Because Shadow needs to move in onto next zone. Winzy being eliminated. And now recovery or revive will not be working, favoring Magna Esports.
PE Esports out too early this time around. Get Boo. Still won't be able to put a little bit of pressure here. Takes out Chelsea from the equation. But elimination stolen away by Cypher. And AG Global annihilates the Shadow Esports players the moment they see an opportunity, and Shadow's out in 7. And AG, like I said, helping me out. Thin the numbers out there on the battlefield. Flash still alive and kicking. Looking for the next circle, though. This is the lightning zone that they need to navigate.
Yeah, let's see if they can navigate the lightning, and there's something that they need to move away from. Now, as we look into Team Falcons heading into the fray, as AG Global is waiting and we're alongside them, a battle is happening between Twisted Mind as well as Team Flash, with the inclusion of Avita XKDC at the second floor.
Yes.
So Avita is not looking good right now in terms of survivability, but Team Falcons being shut down by AG Global as well as being gunned by Twisted Mind, and a steal might be happening as here comes Twisted Mind, but no, they're the ones being thinned out.
Yeah, I mean, Avita XKDC now showing we are missing everything on this battlefield. So many battles. And we get a wide angle view, man. At least be thankful for what we have, Mustachio. X-Posse, final survivor of a Twisted Mind. With XKDC out in the open, they have to on that reposition because the circle is just tiny and there's barely any defensive spots left. AG Global, Baros cooking up the nade. M5 Yankee on standby. You see that electrotherapy as well. Falcons out in 5th, and AG Global wants to send a Vita XKDC right after Falcons in that 4th spot.
Oh yeah, I mean, they need to move fast in only a few seconds before the shift happen, and this is it. VXKDC almost eliminated, Megat already eliminated, and AG Global has a new target. It's Team Flash right now, who's just waiting for them to knock through. But Twisted Mind still have one player in the fray, but is unspotted, so he will not be faced. AG Global, an opportunity for them to take this in the bag, but Team Flash is not making it easy for them to do so.
AG Global looking for the big one here, but the god nade by Zob. Nameless goes down. Baros for the save. Flash can't find the finisher just yet. They try to break through the glue wall. Baros panics, and he does not pick up Nameless, misses the opportunity, and Flash overwhelms AG Global. And now it is all up to Exposé on the side of Twisted Minds, and Flash denies that, picking up the booyah for Vietnam.
Booyah for Vietnam indeed. I'm really looking forward to how well they did in numbers, because a lot of chaos has been happening in that fight. But congratulations to Team Flash. Finally, after, I would say, a few of those mistakes being corrected, there's a chance for them to really get that highlight as well as get the booyah for the name.
I mean, Flash did very well in this matchup to just climb up the leaderboard a little bit more, because they were struggling to find these big points. The best game that they had thus far was Solara with the 15 points. And apart from that, I think they pulled off pretty average games, right? And when I say average, I don't mean that in a bad way, in a very good way. Because we usually talk about how a team needs to aim for more than 10 points. I think Flash has done fairly well for themselves. 12 points, 15 points. I think they got that twice. And now the booyah as well. So this is a really good game. It's a really good day overall for Team Flash.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, hopefully this brings them a little bit higher into the board right there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of chasing that has been done. And looking at the situation, that final moment, we still have Twisted Mind, we have AG Global, though Team Falcons was there as well. But the moment that they got gunned down by AG Global and then jumped by Twisted Mind, then that's where they got taken out. But it's just tough though, wherein you have a better vantage point. Twisted Mind, the moment you pull away from that comfort zone, they pulled away from that comfort zone. That's where they lost all if not most of their players. So hopefully they make a little bit more correction there. But the deed has been done. A lot of elimination as well as placement point has been put in by the team.
Yeah, Flash is one of those teams that still runs the lineup of Zane, Oscar, Chrono, as well as Skylar. They're running that Riptide rhythm, but what makes the biggest of difference is the extreme encounter for the Zom out of the Zane that he has on the front line. And usually he runs the Shani with the gear recycle. He has the Nikita on himself with the Joseph as well. You can't slow him down. He is a unstoppable beast. Speaking of which, he does have the Beastin as a pet on him as well. So it's the kind of setup that allows Flash to be very aggressive, but it's also like a glass cannon sort of a setup where sometimes they overcommit in some of these battles, thinking that they are going to be really solid on the front line, but the mechanical skills just don't cut it for them in those situations. This game, though, was a little bit different, all thanks to the chaos that the final circle threw into the mix as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of chaos in there. They just took advantage of that situation. And no wonder that they are bringing the Shani back, because from what I remember, especially with the update that we have, Shani is one of those that has been buffed up. So out of the duration, it has been increased, or the shield point duration has been increased, doubled from 5 seconds, now 10 seconds. So it's really good. They're taking advantage of that update, of the current meta right now, but it's not across the board compared to what we seen for the other teams. We're in. There's 2 Olivias or a few more, a couple of Tivas right there, but at least they're sticking to their roles.
Yeah, but I did notice that everybody from Team Flash, they had the Nikita on them, right? So extra reload speed. You also get to slow down the rate of recovery from your opponent. So Team Flash is looking for those aggressive encounters in there, and they most definitely were getting that. And I think you could see almost all of their players having the M590 on them as well, with a little bit of a backup with the snipers on a couple of those players. And this is the kind of setup that allows them to be aggressive. But can they keep up the consistency in terms of big games? I don't know. But in terms of delivering the average points that's going to be required to keep them as one of the big contenders for the finals, it's definitely there. And Flash is delivering on that request.
Yeah, really looking forward to how well they can do it, especially on, we are now on the 5th, or just finished the 5th, and we're heading into our final map for today. There's a lot of chaos that has been done, a lot of changes in the leaderboard that happened already. But we as we go back in the ideation of this lengthened and group stage as well as knockout stage, it's more of them to find the rhythm, find the groove right now of each of the team in Southeast Asian region. And Team Flash is one of those who slowly build it up and an average, but with that booyah, hopefully they are motivated to get a few more.
The Zom picks up the MVP with the 3 eliminations, 1,958 on the damage. Not the most that we have seen, but if he managed to pick up the MVP, it definitely means that perhaps the squad did not get a massive game for themselves this time around. I mean, we'll still have to wait and see exactly what the numbers look like later on. Because that's the MVP of your squad, right? So I've got questions in my head right now, and you look at the top 5 eliminations, you don't see Flash. So they actually weaseled their way in towards that final circle and stole this booyah away from one of these big teams who are contending for those big points. I'm now very curious about the overall eliminations of the squad. And this was what we were speaking about, right? They've got the double Shani, and every player on the squad is running that Nikita. No Olivia inside, so they're not looking for the recovery on play, but obviously anticipating those knocks coming on through, and therefore the Tiva Chrono combination in the hands of Ming as the support player of the squad. I am not a big fan of this this setup for the Flash, for sure. But even though I'm not a fan, they are definitely going to get into the grand finals if they keep this up.
Yeah, well, definitely. Hopefully they keep this up. But going back to the numbers, I guess it is true. There's not so much that they've gathered in here, and that is only 8 elimination overall, plus the booyah, the 12 points that they have from booyah. So that's 20 into this battle. But again, going back to the situation of Team Flash, I guess that's for them that they're risking a lot in those engagement on those CQCs, the aggression that they want to bring into the table compared to the other teams who's working on defensive skills. But there you have it. We have 20 by Team Flash, but who overtakes them is all Gamers Global with 16 elimination, bringing them to a total of 24.
Yeah, AG Global was actually going for the big one in this game. Unfortunately, they got taken out so close towards the end of that circle. Twisted Minds doing fairly well for themselves this time round. The recovery off of that booyah earlier on, and making sure to prevent that booyah curse. Could not go for a back-to-back, but at least they are still supplying us with those strong points, which can only mean that Twisted Minds will be dominating the leaderboard in the top 3. Where they sit in the top 3, of course, is going to be a question because of how well AG Global has been doing. Both these teams have been fighting at the top. RRQ was in the mix as well the last time we took a look at the overall leaderboard, but with them getting only 9 points now, I do expect them to be pushed down a little bit, and that is going to be the fact with Twisted Minds dominating, but only with a 1-point difference here up against AG Global.
Yeah, I mean, that risk it all. That's 1 point difference. If this could have been the end or final match already, at 1 point is equivalent of them losing $250 US. But AG Global, I don't think they will be slowing down. They want to take that for themselves. And well, despite of how it looks, I think Team Falcons, if in case AG Global Twisted Mind get eliminated early, can still catch up. But will they be able to do so? Because of how heated the battle is, and we still don't know which map they're playing on, so we don't know what advantage they have.
That's true enough, man. I mean, randomizer in for the play. And if we do get a repeat of either one of these maps, does it actually confirm that one of the exact same teams that have already gotten a booyah there gets another booyah on the random map? I don't think so, right? Because that's the kind of lobby that we've got here on our hands. Southeast Asia is just brutal. Look at the teams that we have got 2 booyahs on their side. They're still fairly low the leaderboard because it's just that kind of a competition.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of teams that is taking advantage in just elimination alone. For those who are consistent enough to get placement together with elimination is taking the top of the board. And as we look at it, there's only a few really that is maintaining their dominance in being top 3. Looking at Twisted Mind, GOW, Big Control by Vitality, as well as WAG, who in most cases has been part of the top 3, but right now I guess most of them are not playing. They are slowly being pushed down into this overall standing that doesn't really matter until it's the end of the week.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you. 2 weeks of our group stage where nobody gets eliminated. The only difference is if you are in the top 12, you get to play for early qualifiers a little faster compared to if you are slightly lower on the leaderboard. But if you are on the lower part of the leaderboard, it also gives you a little bit of rest time so that you can figure out strategically what you can do to make that qualifier into the grand finals. I think the format of the competition is really well thought out. But speaking of well thought out, this is something that you cannot prepare for. It's the map selector, the randomizer, and now we get to go into the map where we're going to love, for sure, because regardless of which white map, we're going to love it anyway.
Let's see now which map it is, and we're back. We're back to Bermuda. And there's one thing though, we've just witnessed Team Flash get it. Is this another chance for them to get it once again, or probably anyone from those final 3 that we've seen in that previous battle might be taking their revenge against Team Falcons? Whoever it is, it would probably change the pace of the game, especially as we're looking at the top teams for the day.
If Team Flash actually gets a back-to-back booyah on Bermuda, I'll do the chicken dance on broadcast, man. There is no way in hell Flash pulls this one off. They better not. they better not. But I don't think it's going to be a possibility, right? Because it was very passive in terms of Flash getting into the final circle. How they pulled it off, I don't want to say luck, but they were definitely in the right places at the right time, and the chaos was breaking out in the other places at a different time for the other teams who could not get to that final circle to really challenge for the booyah. But yeah, man, if they pull it off back to back, I'll do it.
Yeah, you have the space to do it, and we will be loving it to watch you. But again, it's up to Team Flash right there if they can get another booyah. But just to see AJ, go do that chicken dance. I'm cheering them on, right? Team
Oh,
Flash
damn.
right there. Part of my prediction. So, AJ, it's up to you.
Okay, now this is where you guys do not manifest Team Flash to get the booyah. All right, don't do me dirty. Okay, I need to figure out how we can somehow get Avita XKDC back in action because Avita XKDC this time around again. I'm actually being very hard on Avita XKDC, okay? Because I've got high expectations for them. They are the dual champs of our Free Fire Max Asia Invitational that we shoutcasted together the last time around.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see them in action. And sometimes when they come in, especially the first match of the day, they are explosive. But then the following matches, they are average. They're not bad. They're still getting more than 10 points, which is definitely going to be, a good enough marker to show that the team can qualify. But we're not seeing the back-to-back big matches of Avida just yet.
Yeah, I mean, really looking forward to it, especially with records that they have. We're in out of Thailand, they are slowly dominating the scene. Probably it's because of the qualifier condition that they have right now. But let's bring it over to players right now. See the conditions of these teams, especially for those coming from Vietnam. Team Flash motivated after the booyah that they grabbed earlier.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think everybody is motivated. Some of them are sleepy. Yes, understandable. Understandable for PE Esports that are definitely, I wouldn't say struggling, but just haven't found their full rhythm just yet. They have had a decent slow start where they did pick up the pace at Purgatory, Kalahari, and Solara. But at Bermuda, you saw the crash coming through again for PE Esports. They couldn't really get a lot of placement points. In fact, I think they got taken out in the 9th or 8th spot earlier on. So, Bermuda's not looking kind to PE Esports. They need to make a very big change if they want to climb the leaderboard a little bit on this final match.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen glimpses of hope coming from the team right there, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And again, there's plenty of teams, plenty of days to work on that, plenty of weeks, especially in the group stages in this series of Southeast Asia Spring 2026 for Free Fire World Series. But as we look into the other teams as well, who we want to improve and show up right now, anyone can dream, despite of how present they are in most of the engagement. We don't see that. I would say we don't see that much compared to what we expect them to do, especially with the 10 unit that they have. A little bit of raging that is happening right there.
They were definitely acting, bro. That's the worst bunch of actors I've ever seen. Evo's trying to pretend like they are frustrated with their horrible performance. Well, I mean, I can say horrible again. Their horrible performance because Evo's Divine has gotten 7 points off of that first game, 2 points on the second game, 15 points on the third game, which is decent, and then back to 7 points, and then nothing from Bermuda. So, and of course, you saw the very emotive Evo's Divine voice showing you guys that they are frustrated. Just like Buriram, I think they're not playing at all on purpose. I see no reason for them not going all out. In fact, I think that they should just drop the shenanigans and show us what Evo's Divine is capable of doing in this particular season. I would love to see that so that I don't have Flash going on and grabbing the booyah here in Bermuda.
And AJ won't be doing the chicken dance in the broadcast. But there's one thing though. I'm just wondering, out of the prize pool that they grab out of EWC, has it been spent like entirely? And probably that's one reason why they're not doing that much, because they have a straight ticket already onto EWC because of being champion, and there's not really a lot of risk of them not performing in this competition.
I'm not going to say names, all right, but the last time I was in Indonesia for the global finals with you, Neptune, we saw a couple of players, a couple of Free Fire esports players having sports cars, all right?
Yeah.
I think they might have spent their money already. The team stats, Twisted Mind, 60 eliminations. Ranked number 6 in the competition so far with 36k on the damage. Definitely not the most lethal team in the competition, but they are hanging on with the best for sure. Twisted Minds on that slow climb up to the top. And here's the crazy part. They have only played 5 games so far in comparison to the rest of the teams that they're chasing on the overall leaderboard who have completed 11 matches.
Yeah, I mean, that's surprising. It's more of elimination overall that they've slowly moved up, but also they're finding the final circle 3 out of 5 times. So we've seen them, though they are solo, we witnessed that earlier in the previous Bermuda, survivability is what they're doing quite well this time around. I thought from the beginning of this game, they will just go for elimination, their usual trademark, but no. I guess they're practicing to probably the champions of this competition, but they need to be careful because if it's quite clear of what your plan is, a lot of teams out there, the smart ones, the ones who are scheming to put you out early, might bring you out in the open, especially in the grand finals. And going back to Evo Divine, probably one reason why they're not showing up, they don't want to be targeted as early as this.
Yeah, man. I mean, EVOS Divine definitely don't want to be targeted. They are gearing up not just to dominate this particular competition, but they also want to move on to the Esports World Cup and become the back-to-back, the reigning, defending, and still world champions as far as EWC is concerned. That's what they want to hear the casters say by the end of the competition. I know for a fact. But, of course, can they get there? Not if they continue to monkey around. Let's take a look at the head-to-head here between Lao Ho and Rasia. And Rasia is getting his butt whooped by Lao Ho.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a head-to-head that gives us a little bit more perspective on how they fare with each other. But I guess, like, we're just assuming that what we see is what the teams are pulling off, are whipping off right now. And Evo Divine, though this is not the usual Evo Divine that we often see, well, I guess let's just assume with a clear mind they're not EWC champion. They're just sucked this time around.
Well, let's see, man. We are about to head on into the game. It's the final match of day 2 here in our group stage, and it's all going to come down on Bermuda. The question is, can we see Twisted Minds hold on to the #1 spot in terms of dominance? Will AG Global catch up? Will Falcons pull out a massive bomber to pick up the 3rd booyah of the day and overtake Twisted Minds and AG Global on the #1 spot? Or will we see Flash secure the booyah and make me do a chicken dance? I don't know. So many things to look at.
Let's see, though. We're back in Bermuda, where it has begun, and this is where it ends for today. The flight path, though, slicing through in the middle from Shipyard heading into Mars Electric. Evo Divine far, far away, probably heading into Bullseye, if not Graveyard, but Team Flash would be met into Shipyard, and Team Falcons would be on the other side. So northern parts already 3 teams that's occupied, and it's quite near to each other, so we might expect a battle between the 3.
Avida X KDC in a wild open drop, not actually heading in for any compound. That is weird, and I'm curious if or not they are up to something. PE Esports up against Shadow very early, and Chilzy finds Lao Ho with the mini Uzi. In fact, it's just everybody with the mini Uzi here, fresh on the drop. Nobody's got enough time to pick up the loot just yet, and Shadow Esports realizing that that's the mistake that they're making. Everybody rotating away from the PE Esports players who are going in for the hunt, not allowing Shadow Esports to recover. But you got to remember, as Shadow Esports runs away, they're picking up decent loot for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they're looting up. They're just setting things up for PE Sports. And I guess PE Sports does felt that happening. Thus, Lao Ho pulls away. Probably work in a few more of those weapons as well as a vending machine later on. But we've seen AG Global going against Avida XKDC, and the first blood has been drawn. And it's AG winning the fight. Now, PE Sports going for the flank. Not quite sure if they can catch up, but with all the noise, they might attract Magna Esports, who have clear view on PE Sports.
Lao Ho deadly with the position. Smartly played here with the stealth bites off of the Mars. And right up on top, he will be that distraction. Still trying to be in that flanking position to stop the Shadow Esports players from getting away. But Magna is about to stick their noses into this battle of Bima Sakti Strip and potentially distract PE Sports if they can take their sniper out of the equation here. A three-way battle we may end up with, and Magna's the closest one to the vending machine.
Oh, I love that throw on grenade, just an edge and windowsill, and here comes Shadow being pushed by PE Sports. LBT not even really stepping in. The min right now not risking at all, but there goes takedown already being done, and one will not be dealt with. But Magna Esports steps on the other side. They might be able to go for the steal, but that forces one player from Shadow Esports to pull away. The same goes with PE Sports.
Yeah, it's a brilliant play here by Magna. Timed that really well for the backstep. As the third party, they wipe the floor with the Shadow Esports players.
Oh,
but it's not a full squad wipe just yet. There's one final survivor here from Shadow. And PE Sports not staying to see what Magna can do to them. They quickly backed away from that equation, allowing Magna to feast on Shadow. But now they want a rematch, a rechow 4v4. Chilsey's going to be sitting pretty, not wanting to get involved in this battle just yet, hoping and praying they both distract each other and get away far so that he can use the vending machine. And PE Sports just not having the kind of weaponry to take a quick fight up against a raging Magna who look souped up. They've got the COD, they've got the AC-80, MP5, M590. Holy Lord, Magna's ready for a fight.
And that's one thing, I mean, if you have a cord early into the game, especially a decent amount of bullets, you will be able to use that without using any of the utilities to break down glue walls. And that's what's helping Magna Esports right now. But Chelsea chilling like a villain right now, waiting for this engagement to happen to end to as well as Lao Ho pulls out with the Moors, leaving the rest of the squad behind. And that is him says, Tata, see you later.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And this is unfortunate for PE Sports that they have to retreat in such a way. This is how the cookie crumbles here as the chaos ensues so early. But the blessing is no squad eliminated just yet. The revivals coming through one by one, and Shinzi pulls Chilsey back in after his service of recovering the squad earlier on. Falcons versus EVOS at Katulistiwa. Aim got on that revival, and he's going to be backing away from this engagement. Time turner, Pina, M590, just needs one more shot. Ray sitting down in the corner of the time turner, smartly played. And now, here comes that cryo mine advantage. And Ray taking advantage of that backup play there. Brilliant counter by EVOS.
Oh, definitely. I mean, great decision making right there. Into the edge of the time turner, plus the glue wall. And even Pina hesitated to go for that push. On Pyro has been knocked down, but a revive has been done instantaneously on Pina and Kiroro by none other than Limited 7. Here comes Team Flash, trying to go for a flashy entrance. And Limited 7 is out. Team Flash looking to get that booyah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Flash, don't do it, man. The wrong kind of motivation I've given the squad this time round. Our RQ up against Shadow Esports. At least a couple of their players, PE, in here as well with Lao Ho. Our RQ will take those freebies anytime, anywhere, one taken out. Now they're looking for two.
Let's see. The one and only has been taken out already. Let's see if Lao Ho would be gunned down as well. He's quite far though, and he's not making a shot, so information was not relayed just yet on where his position is. But here comes a revive. A couple of players coming from PE Sports, passing or gliding through across RQ. For Team Falcons though, clear view of Event Machine waiting for that mistake to happen, and Chelsea will not be chilling anymore. He'll be in the ground on his knees for elimination being done by Team Falcons, and another one might be meeting them as they get close to Shipyard.
If you guys just joined the broadcast, don't forget to hit that like as well, regardless of the platform that you are watching on. Amit Pumake, Balo Basi, welcome. Bangladesh as well to the conversation. Pretty sure we're going to see the Red Hawks spam coming on through in a little bit, but don't spam the chat just yet, guys. Okay, we want to know from your what you guys think. Who's going to walk away with this final booyah on Bermuda here? Because Falcons look like they are getting absolutely blown apart. With On Fire, I guess rich enough to bring the squad back, and he's going to be all alone as he drives away. One brings Shinzi back in. Shadow Esports still struggling.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, struggling, but it's a good thing that they're bringing their teammates back. It's not as if one or two players is just pulling away from all the engagement. But as you can see, this is what we want to see if you want to survive. Split up as early as this, provide a little bit of distraction. That's what Rin is doing. And Rin is one of the best who will give that. There's a chance to pull away if in case it's only two opponents. And we've seen that clutch potential coming from the guy. But as we look into the map right now, a small circle waiting for 12 teams. And most of them are outside of the previous one. And this chase, this next phase, might be where everyone might falter.
Yeah, I'm loving the spams of likes and love on our broadcast right now. You guys keep it coming on through. It's the final game of the day, so let's have a little bit of fun. Just don't spam the chat, okay? Because I want to read everything that everybody says as we watch this broadcast. Avida X KDC, 2 eliminations. Average games after that massive booyah at the start of the day. And Avida has not shown up big after that. And they're looking for that finisher on the #1 spot, but if they want to overtake AG Global, they need to have a massive game with AG making an early exit off of this Bermuda match.
Let's see. So far, Magna Esports right now are our current elimination leader, and RRQ is putting pressure on them. But as you can see in the shadows of what they're doing, they're just sticking together, making sure that they will not be taken down as easy as that. But here comes Ranze going for the push, but isolation has been done. It's just unfortunate on the other side. It's a Bay who at the ground, and nades as well as M79 being pulled by Dudes. But the back is being shot at by most of the players from Magna Esports. So Dudes needs to move away, but he still managed to survive up close and personal. He's not phased at all.
And EVOS is actually shooting at the RRQ players as well. EVOS getting involved in this battle. Magna and EVOS annihilate RRQ early off of this Bermuda map. And they are the first ones to get taken down. RRQ ball teams, and now EVOS watching all of the action from the back, managing to steal away a couple of points. Now want the points of Magna Esports themselves.
When we thought that Magna Esports the ones who can time their approach quite well, Evo's Divine is showing us that they can do it too. And that's a little bit of karma coming from going into Magna Esports. That elimination being taken by Evo's Divine. But I guess all that talk about Evo's Divine's not performance is paying dividends because they are showing up this time around.
Most definitely are showing up. Esports, Valiant dash for nothing, on the hunt for Long Kong. But Long Kong might just be long gone. Charge button, nope, he's just going around in circles.
Ring around the rosy out there, and this is what's surprising. I mean, Shadow Esports, we've seen them being chased, being gunned down, being run down by a lot of teams. They're still a full squad. They're still surviving, though there's not so much of elimination to show off for it, but at least they might be able to get into the next phase of Circle. So hopefully, as they step in onto the third phase going to the fourth, they will be in a safe spot, a better spot with good loots. But how can you do it? If you have 10 teams in the 10th minute mark and top dogs like Evo's Divine as well as a Team Flash and Team Falcons, it will be tough to say if they can survive even further.
I think Falcons should be able to hang on for the dear lives here because the jump pad is still a big play possibility. Falcons get scanned out. It could be either PE Esports or the players of EVOS. And I think it could be EVOS instead of PE. PE could have scanned out EVOS, and they are making their way into Bima Sakti Strip. A little bit deeper into this next zone. The weapons arsenal was scanned out with the binoculars earlier. It could have been either AG or Falcons. Falcons could be looking to rotate towards the right. But that'll put them in the crosshairs of AG Global. Timing needs to be right here. As Avida X KDC is wondering exactly when they're going to be making their move into this next zone as well. Onyx up against Anyone Can Dream with Twisted Minds right behind them. This is about to go crazy at peak. 10 more squads left here as we approach the 12-minute mark.
Hell, let's see now. I mean, Onyx Olympus, prime spot, especially in peak right now. No contention will be done. They are clear view of everyone as both corners of that rooftop has been taken. For PE Sports, same story is going, but they don't have the highest of the ground right now to work with, and they can be shut down by those on the other side. But for Team Flash, they're slowly moving into the middle of the next phase circle, and I'm really looking forward to how Avida XKDC is moving into this phase as well, because you were asking earlier how can they get in, and the flank that can be done by Team Falcons, but it's quite open ground towards those areas. So I think the decision is good for Team Falcons to take the left instead of right.
Where will we see Avida XKDC sneak themselves into? Oh my lord! Up against Shadow Esports straight up. That was a unfortunate rotation. And Avida XKDC desperate to find the next circle now, but about to step into a three-way battle between Shadow, Anyone Can Dream, and of course themselves, Onyx Olympus, putting themselves out of that equation. Saying, hasta la vista, we want to move on to the next side. But Avida XKDC moving directly towards them, and Twisted Minds moving towards the edge of the zone. This is going to be tough for Anyone Can Dream, but you got to respect what Avida XKDC just did. They are in the circle already, but with a sliver of help on the final player.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a good move for them because they're just playing a tag for the rest of the squad. If Twisted Mind didn't spot them, they could have survived with a few more of their players. But AG Global right now, not only do they have one elimination, they are quite slow this time around, and I'm not seeing Saifa move that fast. But Esports being dealt with on the other side by Twisted Mind, and with that knockdown, that would force the Thailand team to go against these two teams that's fighting it out and probably take a steal. But there goes AG Global, not waiting for that knock to happen, and they are setting up for Twisted Mind to jump in.
Why is Flash still alive? PE Sports is out in 10th. Flash is looking for the booyah. This cannot be happening right now. AG Global, 2 eliminations. Avida XKDC makes the exit in 9th as well. Cypher down, bleeding on the ground. And Twisted Minds looking for the Annihilation. The Bass charged up here with the electrotherapy. The connection is there. Bass outside of the circle. AG Global looking for the shot. He doesn't get the pickup. Knocks down Team SR, but it's a little bit too late. Bass outside the circle, sustaining too much of damage. Taken out by Deuce VSK. And AG Global, they've also sustained a lot of damage. They need to get to the vending machine somehow.
I don't think they can do it because Anyone Can Dream, as well as Shadow Esports, from what we've seen earlier, taking shots at them. Thus, it would be tough for them to turn things around. Onyx Olympus, though, a little bit silent, putting pressure on Team Flash. And this is what AJ is waiting for. Onyx Olympus to beat them down for them not making it the final circle. There goes a shot from Grime. ABCD's out, but quick pickup can be done. But the pressure is still on. The shift the circle will force them to move, but the lightning zone as well will bring a lot of HP going down the drain.
Yeah, boy, and the viewers are getting excited for sure. Don't forget to let us know in the comment section, who do you think is going to dominate this lobby? Who gets to walk away with a booyah? And of course, drop that like and share this broadcast out to the rest of your friends as well. Do you not bother to say Team Flash? Get the name out of your mind. Falcons will not be the ones, not be the chosen ones this time. In fact, they were chosen by EWOS only in a certain circumstance to farm points off of ACD. Anyone Can Dream up against Shadow Esports. The slugfest between them will end up with a advantage towards Shadow, but on the very edge of the circle, as it tags them, they get the pickup and to move on in.
Oh, let's see. Evo's Divine 16 elimination already and still geared up. There goes the Cryo Mine. Glue walls will not be sustained anymore, but here comes Team Flash moving in with the blue. The Zom almost being taken down, but ABCD's providing a little bit of distraction. Moves in with the Valiant Dash, and let's see if they can beat down Evo's Divine. Team Flash moving quite well. Only Ray remains, and there goes Team Flash taking a win with a full squad.
Holy Lord, Team Flash about to do it! Back to back on the booyah! Up against Onyx Olympus and Shadow Esports on for a run of their own. A brilliant showing by Team Flash when challenged by the Mustachio. They are waking up on a different level now with the consistency. Onyx, advantage with the circle. Shadow Esports could backstab Team Flash here, so they have to be really careful. They're rotating out in the open, all with their glue walls, and Flash making the right decision here to finish off Shadow Esports, who do have an advantage against them in this rotation for this next circle. And as they back away from Onyx Olympus, this puts Shadow in a situation where they have to engage with Onyx. What a brilliant strategy by Flash.
Well, Team Flash needs to be silent right now. Just pick off all those knockdowns, and Shadow Esports slowly inching in as the zone closes. Onyx Olympus goes in for the flank, and they're getting close to Team Flash as well, but the focus is not over for Shadow Esports. The shift is about to happen. Onyx Olympus is the one being taken over by Shadow Esports. Shadow Esports knows exactly what to do, but Mink goes in for a knockdown against Chilsea, and as everyone moves with the next phase of the circle, it is SE or Shadow who's falling down one at a time.
Okay, Mink finds the first one. Chilsea out of the equation. Thanks to the Woodpecker here. Team Flash, 12 eliminations strong. Looking for the Booyah. All the heavy hitters are out of the lobby. And I told you, man, EVOS Divine was clearly faking it through the first 5 games, just wanting to pull off a flashy exit like Buriram. But they overestimated what they could do here when they really wanted to. Massive number of eliminations. This could not guarantee that Booyah. In fact, Flash took them out. And this little ring around the Rosie, or ring around the final circle, just getting a little boring if you ask me. Onyx running away from Flash, Flash running away from Onyx. Shadow Esports wondering what's going on. They can't find any bodies just yet. And again, round and round the merry-go-round. Here we go in free fire. Rin still on the chase.
What the heck is happening, bro?
At least we do not get the free cam guy again, okay?
Well, the thing is, it's quite weird. Zone's closing in, glue wall has been laid out outside the blue, and in a bit, everyone would be forced in, and this is where it stops. Onyx Olympus was forcing them to go behind and so that they can anticipate where everyone would be coming in, but Shadow is not stopping that roam around, and they are still taking advantage of it. But Shinzi is already on the ground. It's a duo, and Team Flash seems like they are getting it. Might be winning this fight, but a couple of players already on the ground, and Team Flash grabs the Booyah, and we get to see AJ do the chicken dance.
Shut up! Just shut up! How? How, Flash? How did you pull this off? And look at those smiles. They're damn proud of themselves. But this is the impossible run pulled off by Team Flash. Average throughout the day. But they end the day with a back-to-back Booyah. Picking up 8 eliminations in the previous matchup, and I thought, they chickened their way around the battlefield. There's no way in hell they get it done. And they just ended this game with 16 eliminations after playing merry-go-round with 2 other squads from Indonesia.
And it's one thing now. I mean, in the final moment, it's not to get away. The merry-go-round, the ring around the rosy is not to get away. What they're doing is just like making sure that they are funneled in one specific direction, and that's what happened when they were trying to beat down against the final players. But AJ, here's one thing: you didn't lose this fight. You win it because you asked them to get that Booyah. It just so happened that there's a condition that you put in the ask.
See, guys, I can't stand up because then my head will get cut off. Okay, then this will turn into a very different kind of broadcast. Right? So I'll sit down and I will sing the chicken dance song for you guys. Okay.
I'll join you, bro.
Flash did me dirty this time round. Okay, Flash did me dirty. They refused to perform in all of the other matches, and the only time they could do me dirty, we went for the back-to-back Booyah. And what's more insulting is the second Booyah on Bermuda was even better than the previous one. They didn't chicken around. In fact, they were hunting chickens out there in that final circle. They did happen to find one chicken in Onyx Olympus, but that was after 2 phenomenal shots off of Shadow Esports. And I think this is the first game that Shadow Esports is actually waking up in the competition, Neptune.
Yeah, I'm really loving the survivability that happened for Shadow Esports. And we've seen that for, well, one team in that final circle, Onyx Olympus. They try to survive being silent, then doesn't win a lot of those early engagement, but towards the end, when it's really needed, you can stick to those placement point, but they need to convert those elimination as well. And hopefully this is a time that they do so, because from the previous one, they did get 12 elimination, though they were taken out a little bit early, and hopefully with this second place, getting somewhat close, this increase the ranks right here for the overall standing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, it's the Zane that makes the world of difference for the squad. And they're onto something here with the double Shani setup. The 4 blast on, full on Nikita setup as their passive skills, I think is giving them a lot of advantage on the battlefield, right? Especially in those heated battles where you want to quickly reload and just continue your pressure in those fights. A little bit of luck definitely went their way, because at the very end, both Shadow Esports as well as the players on the side of Flash started hitting on Onyx Olympus at the very same time. And of course, Onyx Olympus losing lives, Onyx Olympus trading a couple of players away from Shadow, and of course Flash being able to take advantage of the situation. But they were positioning themselves well to take advantage of that situation, and I think that was a very big play coming through from Team Flash this time around as well.
Yeah, we're loving how well Team Flash has been setting this up in the final moments. No, it's not just a back-to-back booyah. It's more of how they got there. Even in the beginning, and there's a few of signs signs of hope from Team Flash, getting the 3rd place in Nextera, and then has been eliminated a little bit early, but they still are in above 10 points per match. So Team Flash just flashy this time around. And who's another flashy? The Zom. Though the numbers is not showing that much in terms of elimination, but 3 as well as a booyah is quite good enough.
Damn it, Zom! Damn it, Flash! Why did you have to do me dirty? This is just too much. And earlier, they weren't even in the top 5 eliminations, okay? They took it upon themselves this time round to really nail the booyah. But good on team, 6 eliminations for the guy. But EVOS Divine finally waking up. 9 eliminations in this top 5 just between Rasia and Ray. This was a big gain for EVOS Divine. I think they got more than 15 eliminations earlier on before they got eliminated from the lobby, which was a little unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough really, but as we look in the skills of the squad, that Dimitri really throws me off, but that's Zane, Oscar, and Chrono. It does help for most instance, but the God right now, I'm not quite sure what he is planning right here, but I'm not seeing anything that is close enough to be on a sniper build. But I guess this is something of them, like some way for them to find a final circle and an aggressive one, because their preparation, or the preparation that they have, especially on the support side for the God, that Dimitri, that Oscar, that Olivia, as well as that Tiva on him, definitely will help up this team in dire conditions.
Dimitri is someone I did not expect to see in the lineup of active skills for sure. And we totally missed that off of the Team Flash earlier on as we were spotting them out there on the battlefield. But it looks like the experiments are checking out well here for Team Flash. And the whole chat cannot stop spamming chicken dance. Can y'all give me a break? Team Flash did dirty, okay? Team Flash did me dirty. I don't know if they did you guys dirty, because y'all seem to be having fun out there.
Well, that's what we're in for. Having fun at all. The game standings, well, definitely Team Flash. I mean, they did you dirty, but this is a clean game coming from Team Flash right here. Even another team that we didn't expect to be showing up, but Shadow Esports. I'm loving this. They went for survivability. They were gunned down, and most instances they were part of the screen. They're the ones losing the fight, but not for that final moment, not for that top 3, because they are showing what they're made of. Today's standings, it's Twisted Mind taking the win with only 1 point difference against AG, but even if it's a tie, because of that booyah, they will still take the lead.
Yeah, hell, man, this is a great run for the Twisted Minds as well as AG Global. And what the hell, Flash? They snuck into the conversation, man. They are in the third spot. This is a brilliant run from the Vietnamese squad. You know,
well.
They got a new coach. Yeah, oh well. They got a new coach. And you know what? I'll tell you this, okay? The moderator has been very active on the YouTube chat the whole day. And everybody that has spammed in the YouTube chat has been timed out. But right now, they are spamming for the chicken dance and they're not getting timed out. This is sabotage. I don't know what to say.
It's quite unfair. It's quite unfair. But the one thing though,
yeah.
Vietnam has a way of surprising everyone. Yesterday it was GOW. Now Team Flash surprised everyone. Though they didn't take that Team of the Day, but that performance is quite well. And this might be it. We might be seeing this competition as a rise for Vietnam. Well, similar to a post that I saw on Instagram earlier about this competition, but it is showing up right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's showing up. The chat is showing up. Everybody's showing up for the wrong reasons, from the wrong time. But you gotta love it, man. AG Global sitting down at the very top of the overall standing without a single booyah to their name. Team Flash in that second spot. They gotta be proud of what they did. The team of the day, though, don't get it twisted. It ain't AG, it ain't Flash who forced me to do the chicken dance. It is Twisted Minds with 65 eliminations, 106 points. 40k on the damage with a single booyah to their name.
Yeah, I mean, consistency was on them already. We've seen the team today totals, the numbers that they have. We have Team Flash who had 2 booyahs. We have Falcons who have 2 booyahs, but they're not even close against Twisted Mind. It's AG Global who is a close contender and taken the lead earlier. Twisted Mind says, no, we're going to twist the necks of everyone who's going against us, and they grab that extra 250. But the only question, though, is will they continue this fight? Will this continue this showing right now? But we won't be continuing as a talk. We're going to bring it over an interview to hear what the team has to say. So let's take it over to our host.
Hello, what an incredible games เป็นยังไงบ้างคะกับการแข่งขันวันนี้ลุ้นกันบ้างไหมคะ And right now we're with the team of the day Twisted Mind และตอนนี้เราก็อยู่กับทีมที่มาแรงที่สุดของวันนี้นะคะ Twisted Mind Can you briefly introduce yourself แนะนำตัวสั้นๆหน่อยค่ะ
สวัสดีครับผมทวิตเอ็กโคซี่ครับ
ค่ะ Since today is your first day in FFWSC 2026 How did you prepare yourself วันนี้เนี่ยแข่งวันแรกเลยเตรียมตัวมายังไงบ้างคะ
ก็นอนได้เพียงพอครับซ้อมเยอะๆแล้วก็เชื่อมั่นในทีมครับ
Get enough sleep get enough practice and practice with your friends a lot and the next question in third game you got the first booyah how you feel ตอนที่เกมที่3เนี่ยได้บูย่าเป็นครั้งแรกรู้สึกยังไงบ้างคะ
ก็ดีใจครับเพราะว่าทีมเพิ่งรวมกันครับ
He was really happy because his team just united and right now in the scoreboard you're just 1 point above AG what do you want to tell them ตอนนี้เนี่ยในสกอร์บอร์ดมีแค่แต้มเดียวเองนะคะที่นำ AG อยู่อยากฝากบอกอะไร AG หรือเปล่าคะ
ก็คราวหน้าเอาใหม่นะครับคราวนี้ดิวก็โดนผมไป
Let's make it up right now next time but today I revenge deal a lot and the last question what do you want to tell the fans มีอะไรอยากฝากบอกแฟนๆไหมคะ
ก็ฝากเชียร์ทวิตเยอะนะครับทายนาผู้ใหญ่ครับ
Keep cheering for Twisted Team Coach Namo and for now let's get back to the caster กลับไปที่ caster กันนะคะบ๊ายบาย
Okay, I have to be a bloody man of my word, man. Okay, you can moderator Delena. I know you're watching this. Okay, you should have banned everybody who's demanding. But I'll have to do it because if not, they won't like me anymore. You got it. Just one round, okay? Unless Flash gets more booyahs tomorrow. But I'm not even casting tomorrow.
That's one thing, though. I mean, really appreciate it. Such a sport, AJ, right here. But I'm really loving the storyline that's being built right now. For first 2 days, of this Southeast Asia FFWS Spring 2026. There's a lot more that's about to unfold, especially from how these teams is showing up, how everything is showing up, especially after updates. All the meta changes is bringing us a lot of surprise coming to teams, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, the shock is one that is very much welcomed. But I still do think we're not seeing everything that the squads can show out there. Teams like EVOS Divine, teams like Buriram are holding back in the group stage for good reasons, right? Because nobody gets eliminated here just yet. But obviously, I'm expecting more from them in the days to come. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the end of our broadcast here for day 2 of the group stage. Tomorrow, same time, same place, day number 3. We'll catch you there. Take care, good night, and goodbye.